Welcome to the NFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things NFC West from the best creators in the division, including Los Angeles Rams creator Jake, San Francisco 49ers creator Jesse, Seattle Seahawks creator Brandon, and Arizona Cardinals creator Mike. Catch the NFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. What is up, NFC West football fans, and welcome into another edition of the NFC West Roundtable. Week 13 is in the books. A stunner for the LA Rams. They go down to the Carolina Panthers just when we all were starting to crown the Rams as the best team in the NFL. They drop one on the road. Are they still the best team in the NFL? The team that we thought was right there with them, Seattle, they looked like it against Minnesota. The Niners, they dominate the Rams. And stop me if you've heard, the Browns, sorry. Stop me if you've heard this one before. The Arizona Cardinals on the wrong end of a narrow loss. We'll recap all of that and more right here on the NFC West Roundtable. And of course, on the back half of the episode, we look forward to Week 14, giving you our previews and predictions. So without further ado, let's bring in the fellas, Brandon, Jake, Mike, and Jesse. And tonight, fellas, we'll start with the one that I think shocked us all. We're looking at the Carolina Panthers a couple of weeks ago, and we're saying, man, we're out. This team looked pretty good compared to what we've known them to be in years past, but we've seen enough. And then all of a sudden, the LA Rams, right? They beat Seattle. They're looking dominant. They're looking like the best team in the league. They go on the road to Carolina, and they wind up losing in a game that just was uncharacteristic in terms of how you feel about the LA Rams. The running ability for Carolina was prevalent in this one. And despite only throwing 20 passes, Bryce Young was 15 of 20 for 206 and 3 touchdowns, 2 massive touchdowns on fourth down. Carolina had to play perfect in this one, essentially in the areas in which they wound up playing perfect in, and they wound up getting the W by 3 points. So we start there. Jake, I'll swing it up to you, and I'm sure you feel like this. I'm sure many of you in here feel like this. I don't think this knocks down how we feel about the Rams, but were you shocked in this one that they did wind up losing to this Carolina Panthers team that just a week prior we were saying, yeah, I think this team's done?
Yeah, I was absolutely shocked. I think, really, I've learned to not go against my gut because I think I said about 2-3 weeks ago, this Carolina game freaked me out. And then I watched them get kind of dominated by the 49ers on Monday Night Football and just kind of assumed, nope, they just broke their spirits. That game's over. Their season's over. It is what it is. And they came out and the offense looked way more creative than the offense I saw on Monday Night Football. And you just got to give them credit. I mean, they showed up. I wish they would have showed up offensively against the 49ers. I know Dave Canales was not calling the same offense against the Niners, but you got to give credit to Bryce Young. He's somebody that I've backed in this league for a while now. It feels like everybody has tried to trash him and get rid of him. And I'll tell you right now, if he was in Jacksonville, they'd be a much better team than what Trevor Lawrence does. But no, I mean, I think, the Panthers were able to make the plays that they had to make. I think the Rams also have beaten themselves in all 3 games, not to take away from the 49ers or the Eagles or the Panthers, but the Rams absolutely have beaten themselves in a sense. In this one, it was very prevalent. You have Blake Corum averaging over 11 yards per carry, Kyron Williams averaging almost 6, and you just stopped running the football, only ran 20 times. Panthers ran it, double that. So that's on McVay. I think, the Stafford stuff, it's a lot of box score watching. It's a lot of people who didn't actually see the game. Stafford was not as bad as people said. I will say that the pick 6 was terrible. It was just a bad decision all, through and through. He had a batted pass at the goal line. He led 4 touchdown scoring drives. And in the red zone, he takes an ill-advised sack on 3rd and 10. It's a slippery game out, and he drops the ball. Even before you can tell, even before, there's even pressure, the ball falls out. So, yeah, just really, annoying game because this isn't really representative of the team that we've seen. But because everybody has to have knee-jerk reactions, that's the NFL. Now the Rams all of a sudden aren't the best team in the NFC or the best team in the NFL anymore to a lot of people. Drake May's the MVP. Stafford, we're going to forget that he broke the record through 28 straight touchdown passes without an interception. We're going to forget the fact that the Rams have led every single game and have led up until, going back to week 6. In the second quarter, the Rams have literally been in control of every single game since then. But that's the thing. That's the way the NFL works. If you go back and you look at the Super Bowl champions in the past, the 2024 Eagles lost the 8-9 Falcons. The Chiefs in 2023 lost the 8-9 Broncos and Raiders. The Chiefs in 22 lost to the 4-12-1 Colts. The Rams in 2021, the Super Bowl team, didn't even win a game in November. The Buccaneers lost the 8-8 Bears. The 2019 Chiefs lost to the 7-9 Colts. And the 2018 Patriots lost to a 5-11 Jags team, a 6-10 Lions team, and a 7-9 Dolphins team. So, it is what it is. But I think, people tend to forget this is still a team that won 6 straight, and they had to go back to the East Coast, pouring rain, and they lost the game by 3. Once again, the Rams have been in every single game. All 3 of their losses have been down to the wire, arguably the final play of the game. And this team, by the way, by far leads the rest of the NFL, 6-2 against playoff teams this year. So not worried about this team at all. I still think they're the best team in the league. And that Panthers game, while it sucked, a lot of those things were uncharacteristic, and I just think it was just a bad day. And they still almost won.
Definitely. And I think we're looking at this one. And what shocked me here, Jake, was that the week prior, they could not run the football against the 49ers. They had 69 total yards. In this game, the Panthers ran the ball.
They didn't try to run the football.
That's the weird thing, Jesse, because in this one, they ran it 40 different times. And, we haven't seen much of Chuba Hubbard since Rico Dowdle has kind of taken over. They kept giving him the ball in this one. They would go on to rush for nearly 170 yards in this one, and they just kept going back to it and back to it and back to it. So, Jake, what did you attribute that aspect of this game to, where it just felt like they were kind of imposing their will in the ground game, kept going back to it, and many times it just felt like the Rams weren't able to stop it?
Well, I could make a joke, and, Dave Canales said, we've seen the Rams' best football. They haven't seen ours. I disagree. I don't think we've seen the Rams' best football, so that's exciting to me. But I also, Dave Canales was talking about how he grew up a Rams fan and was pissed off they went to St. Louis. So, just a little stuff there. But no, I think really what it comes down to is they ran the football mainly because they knew Poona Ford wasn't 100%. And Jesse had said all offseason this was a huge move for the Rams, and we're seeing it. And we didn't realize, well, I did. I've been saying Poona Ford should have been on that fearsome foursome, it should have been a fearsome fivesome recreation, poster that the Rams took a picture of or whatever. But the point being is that Poona Ford is the most important player outside of Matthew Stafford on this entire roster. And we saw that on Sunday because he did not play as many snaps as he normally plays. And he was absolutely dominant. And of course, when Poona Ford was off the field, it was a lot different. So there was a interesting, okay, cool. From my buddy Blaine Grisak, he charted this out. Poona Ford, when he was on the field, Carolina had 15 carries for 48 yards. That's 3.2 yards per carry. Poona Ford, when he was off the field, Carolina had 20 carries for 93 yards. That's 4.7. It wasn't that Carolina just absolutely destroyed the Rams left and right with the ground game. It was that they were consistent with the ground game. Instead of getting those 15, 20, chunk yardage, we've seen James Cook do, right, Z-Bot. We've seen Christian McCaffrey. We've seen Kenneth Walker. No, they were getting 5 yards every single time. And now that's all you need. I don't think people realize. I think the explosive runs get a little overrated in the grand scheme of things. I think fantasy football and betting has kind of, warped people's minds to a degree. If you run the football for 5 yards every time you touch it, well, you're going to get a first down every single time, right? Essentially, you're going to, get to another set of downs every time. And that is what Carolina did very well. And then you had Bryce Young, who was able to make the throws he had to make. And by the way, guys, I don't know if you watched the full entirety of the game, but Bryce Young threw 2 touchdowns on 4th downs. And he picked on a cornerback who had just had one of the best games I've ever seen from a cornerback. 5 pass breakups and an interception, Emmanuel Forbes. And he gave up 2 touchdowns to Jalen Coker and Tedero McMillan. So it was just a really uncharacteristic performance. But that is why they ran the football, by the way, the whole Poona Ford aspect. I think they really committed to that. and they committed to using Chuba Hubbard and Rico instead of just using Rico or just using Chuba Hubbard. I also think that helped them as well.
Z-Bot, can I ask
Yes.
a question?
Of course.
So listen, Carolina's been a completely different team on the road versus at home. Sans the one win against the Falcons, right? Which is a bad team, and that's a division game. They truly have beaten, the Packers. Now they've beaten the Rams. But man, there is no team out there that seems like they are going to run away with either the NFC or the AFC. I did pick the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to change that based off of this game. But that pick does worry me a little bit more now that I've seen Carolina put some things up on that defense. I've seen the 49ers do it rather easily, move the ball twice with a ton of injuries and Mac Jones playing. That defense on paper has a lot of names, but I don't know how much I actually trust that defense to make stops when they need it. And you've now once again got a kicker issue. So week 13 to have a defense that you can't necessarily fully rely on and potentially some special teams issues. How worried are you about those, Jake?
I'm not, because I think, the whole special teams issues, they've been figured out. There hasn't been a miss yet, with Mevis, he's been fine. I think they got the whole kicking operation doing pretty well. The defense, this was just uncharacteristic. They've had some of those games, but, I also think not having Quentin Lake, I think definitely hurt this game, but it all comes back to Poona Ford. He was questionable all week. He gets limited. And I think to that extent, that's frustrating. But at the same time, really, the Rams should have won this game. Stafford, had 6 red zone drives in this one, 4 touchdowns. And, he's driving. And of course, the inclement weather, it gets to him. He fumbles the football. I mean, they could have run the ball there after, by the way, the only penalty of the game. They get a delay of game. It backs them up to a 3rd and 10. If they just run it on 3rd and 5, they could have kicked the field goal and gone to overtime. So that's the frustrating part, is that they're not like, it wasn't, I keep seeing belt to ass from people. This game was super close. And honestly, like, the Rams still, in a lot of ways, like, had their will with this defense. I mean, up and down the field with Stafford. And that's kind of why, the turnovers are frustrating, because the fumble, he's trying to do something. He should have thrown the ball away. I have no doubt about that. Obviously, they should have just run the ball. I also blame Sean McVay only running 3 times in the last 10 plays of the game. He should have run it. I mean, they couldn't stop the run. But the thing that frustrates me is now Stafford puts together 4 touchdown drives. 4 touchdown drives, that's 28 points, was not enough because the defense doesn't show up. And now I have to hear how Stafford threw the game away. He didn't really throw the game away. I mean, the defense struggled. And it was just, I also think this, Jesse, I think the weather was a concern. I think we saw it on their side as well. A lot of missed tackles. I thought Mike Jackson was fantastic in coverage. I have to say that. I thought he was phenomenal. He was blanking in Puka. Puka had to make one of the craziest catches you'll ever see. But I think
phenomenal.
I know. And then, of course, there was another one, Traylon Burks. And then I think even, what was it? It was just the weekend of one-handed catches. I don't know. Bowers had another crazy one too. But anyway, I think the weather had a lot to do with the lack of defense on both sides. I will add. I don't think the Rams are going to average, 11 yards a carry or whatever the hell they were doing against most defenses. I do think the weather came into that. I'm not ignorant to that fact, but I also think it was the same on the other side as well. So, yeah, it's a frustrating day. They're trying to integrate Akello Witherspoon as well, who's not necessarily in the football shape yet. He played 15 snaps, but I think it really comes back to Poona Ford, if you ask me.
Let me ask a question here. I'm so sorry, busy bot. The McVay, was like a big pass. Sean McPass.
You guys are gonna get the chat to hate me.
No. Here's the thing, like, because I was looking at this game, and you should have, but that's the thing, right? Take it from a guy that shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Like, that's all year long, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Why is it so hard for you to say? I guess Matthew Stafford kind of. He has an MVP season. Like, let's be real here. He's really, really good, but this game he wasn't great. Why is it hard for you to say that he threw it away? Because he did throw a pick 6. And yes, it's Sean McVay's fault as well for not running the damn ball. Every time I message you when we're watching Rams and in my Kyron Williams, my fantasy league, I'm like, you should do this, you should do this. And they just keep going away from it. What does McVay have to say about this? Because what they're doing with Kyron is absolutely crazy to me. And they're allowing this, Matthew Stafford, which is having a good season. Let's be real here. But like, he did throw an interception. He threw a pick six. He fumbled. Like, all these things was bad on him. They should have won. But yeah, I mean, this team is good. It's just, I don't know. Like, sometimes it takes a loss like this to actually get back into the right things. So honestly, this is kind of a blessing in disguise for you guys. Like, you guys were trying to get away with all these cutesy stuff. Oh, we're going to ignore the freaking run. Kyron Williams last week didn't touch the ball until what? Freaking second half.
I agree with what you're saying.
Crazy. So I don't know, man. It's just, it's wild to me. I guess it's not really much of a question, but just, I just want to hear you say Matthew Stafford threw away the game.
I mean, my thing is, you're absolutely right. I'm hoping that this loss helps the run game, and I wanted to keep it a little short. It has not gotten short, but I'll also say this, guys. The pass rush, and I mean, no disrespect. I mean, I love everyone on this team up front, but the pass rush is overrated, and it's time for us to actually start talking about how freaking good this secondary is. And now, of course, they have a game like this, and Emmanuel Forbes looks bad. Emmanuel Forbes on one of those touchdowns, and yes, he does deserve blame. I believe it was the one against Tedero and McMillan. He looks back assuming the play's dead because it's been so long. And that's the thing. I think the pass rush is really good, but the reality is it doesn't show up all the time. It's not as consistent, and it's definitely not as dominant as the one we saw at the end of last year, the one that had Sam Darnold running for his life. Okay? That is not the same pass rush. And what we saw against Carolina was Jared Verse was not winning consistently, only won 10%. That's not enough. Byron Young won 6%. That's not enough. Kobe Turner didn't win a single rep in pass rushing, and Braden Fisk was the only guy that was able to get through. So, I feel like that was part of it. I think they need to fix that. I think, they're doing too many stunts. They have the least success rate in terms of that. And I think they need to your point, Mike, I think they need to run the damn ball. But no, I'll still say it. I don't think Stafford threw away the game. And here's why. Both of those touchdowns, Blake Corum and Kyron Williams, came near the goal line. If Stafford throws those, he has 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Are people saying the same thing? I think that's my issue, is that it's a lot of the box score, seeing the 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and not realizing that he's the reason that they were in that game, despite the fact the defense couldn't stop anything.
I think you're looking at this game, too. You lose the turnover battle 3-0, and it still took 2 unbelievable balls, maybe the 2 best balls Bryce Young's thrown in his career, on 4th down in the end zone to win that football game. We've had so many coulda, shoulda, wouldas. When we go back a couple weeks ago, Brandon, Seahawks against your Rams, right? We kept saying if one of those throws from Darnold isn't picked off, maybe that game goes a different way. That one had shades of it. And like I said earlier, it did feel like Carolina really had to capitalize and play perfect in order to win this football game. And in many ways, they wound up doing that. So big win for Carolina, who's still in the thick of things in the NFC. And I think we can all agree here, despite the loss, the Rams still right towards the top of the league, one of the biggest threats to win it all, despite losing. And they'll look to get back on track against Mike's Cardinals this upcoming week, which we'll talk about.
And I'm going on mute
a little bit
because I've talked enough. They will kill me. Off? They will stop asking me questions.
All right. No more questions for Jake. Questions for Brandon, because I'll tell you, last Thursday was Thanksgiving, but I was awfully thankful on Sunday for having the Seahawks defense on my fantasy squad. We're getting towards playoff time here. 32 fantasy points scored by the Seattle Seahawks defense. Utter dominance. We had a feeling Seattle was going to have their way in this one against Minnesota. They didn't go up against 9, but they went up against Brosmer. 19 of 30 was Max Brosmer, 126, 4 interceptions, and his first career touchdown. Unfortunately for him, it happened to be scored by the Seattle Seahawks defense. Seattle in this one, utterly dominant on the defensive side of the football, 162 total yards for Minnesota, 96 passing yards, 66 rushing yards. Seattle's offense didn't even need to do anything. 219 yards in this game, 94 total passing yards. They win the game 26-0. Brandon, this was dominance to the nth degree. Won it going away. It was over before it even started. This defense, man, I mean, it's the truth. Obviously, you're going against Brosmer. it was an easier day than many others are going to be. But what are you making of this team right now? The bounce back after that Rams game here the last couple of weeks, and just the momentum this defense has as we get in here to December and, of course, on our way to January.
They're a defense that is great, but they're a defense that wants to be great, and that it's got guys that are here in the league for well over 10 years that are leading the way and making this happen. I think that's the most important part of this beyond us being dominant against Max Brosmer. I'm not going to take a lot away from that or this Vikings offense, which isn't particularly good. But what you get from this defense, and you see it on a play from DeMarcus Lawrence in this game where he first gets chipped kind of out of the play on a throw to the flat. The running back gets it. He's going to go run it for 7 or 8 yards there. A defensive end there will oftentimes, especially a guy that's been in this league for 10 years, made tens of millions of dollars, go, I'm out of this play. I'm kind of out of this one. But instead with him, you see him hustling back to get into that play to go not only make the tackle, but then rip his hand down and cause and force a fumble at the same point in time. It's not just a great play. It's a guy that's been in this league for many years on a Cowboys team that did nothing, who's hungry to be a winner, who talked about one of the reasons he came to Seattle was to go and be on a potential championship contender. And the energy you get from him, the energy you get from an Ernest Jones, the energy you get from a Leonard Williams, these are your vets. These are the older players in this league, but they're leading the way. They're showing the youngsters that this is the standard. And in doing that, I think you're seeing the lifting up what the great talent that you already have in addition to this, and that you have a hungry defense, not just a good defense, but one that is getting after it and getting it after with an intensity that is very much echoes of the old Legion of Boom era. I'm not saying that they're as good a defense. I think you could make an argument that this defensive line is maybe even better than the defensive line that we tried out during the Legion of Boom era. But it just stands out to me that you have these vets who are embracing the responsibility and the ownership to want to go be great. Everybody talks about being great. Everybody talks about winning. But do you show it every day out in the practice field, making sure you've got those intense practices in training camp? Do you show it in OTAs with the full participation, even in the optional part of the OTAs this offseason? And you feel it in every game and every step from these guys on the field and how hard they're getting after it. And so I could get in here and out flowers to every which person here. Drake Thomas playing amazing. Nicky Manwari bodying up JJ Jefferson and helping to shut down Jefferson on the day where he had only 2 catches. That was Manwari in the slot, manning him up for a lot of this day and doing the job as the rookie has done from the moment he jumped into it. You got Ernest Jones. This is my weekly moment where I look over at Jake and say a salute to you guys. Thank you again for giving us that. 5 interceptions on the year. Meanwhile, the Rams have a little bit of a struggle bus when it comes to their inside linebacker position and coverage, don't they, Jake? So that's been a nice help as far as on as well in addition to this. Tariq Woolen goes and gets an interception. He's playing out of his mind. But this defense seems to all understand that we've got to bring that level of intensity every week, that they look into a man going, if I don't show up here, my guy to my left and my guy to my right is going to call me in question. And that kind of hunger is something that I think could take this team really, really far. Like you said, offensively, there's not really a lot to say. This is a little bit like the game a couple of weeks ago where Rams played the Seahawks, and you could see Stafford and that Rams offense recognized in the second half that Darnold and company had too many interceptions, that they're not doing a lot against that defense. So the offense didn't have to do a lot. So that was how this went in the second half, where they just said, look, we're just going to run it. It's going to be like 2 runs and 3rd and 7, and we'll try to get first down, and not, we'll just punt it. Who cares? They still got some consistent drives. The running game continues to get better as the season goes along, which is very encouraging. But this was a game that was driven by your defense. And in my opinion, this is the best defense in the NFL. The only reason that they don't have the number 1 spot as far as points per game goes is because the offense has freaking turned the ball over so many times on short fields. The offense has had a turnover where literally it's a fumble that gives a touchdown then to the opposition, and that counts against the defense. You remove some of that from this defense this year, they would be the number 1 defense, and it would be unquestioned at that as far as points per game. So, this team's coming together well. I'm not going to take too much from this individual win. It's just one more that you've stacked up along so many other Z-Bot, and another dominant win where you have this basically in hand after the first half.
Any concern at all from the offense? Because they did have 34 minutes of time of possession in this one, sub 100 passing yards, 219 total yards. And like you said, and we all agree, I mean, this game it felt over before going into it, just based on the matchup between the quarterback and the defense. But anything throughout this game that just kind of had you feeling like, man, if it was any other opponent right now, I don't know if this offense is showing me enough to where they would maybe get out of here with a win if they needed an offensive performance in this one.
This has been the one, yes, to a degree, but it's not anything to do with the players on the field on this one. This comes back to Kubiak, and Kubiak has been a sensational offensive play caller for us. He's been a huge upgrade over anything we've had to hear in recent past. But there are a couple of games that I can pinpoint within this season where I don't understand what his approach was. The Niners in the first game of the year and coming out in those heavy shotgun looks and a little bit too pass happy, in my opinion. You have the Rams game a couple weeks ago where the Carolina Panthers just showed this game against the Rams and what you got to do. You got to run against that light box. The Niners showed going up against the Rams what you got to do as far as passing offense goes. Short, quick, rhythm passing is how you have to roll it out. We didn't establish that against the Rams. And then you have this week, you have Brian Flores telegraphing during the week saying, I'm going to blitz the hell out of Sam. I'm coming after him. I like the guy, but I'm bringing it. And he's telling your offensive coordinator, this stuff's coming. You're not just going to get the 5-man fire zone blitzes they like to run. It's going to be 6, 7 guys, maybe even 8. And the Vikings kept kind of running the same blitz into the first half, yet the Seahawks offense didn't seem to be like they were anticipating that. They were seeming to operate like they were thinking they were going to do something else. So there has been 3 games, but I'm not going to bitch and moan about this too much because I can show you so many other games where you've come out on fire on offense. You've scored possession after possession after possession. But I also can't discount that when it does go wrong with Kubiak, it kind of really goes wrong and you can't really explain it as much because I, as an OC walking this week, if there's one thing I was going to do against this Viking defense was have a preparation, have a plan in place to deal with the blitz. They do it at the number 1 rate at the NFL. And he's all but telling you he's going to do it in tow when he gets to the game. So that part I didn't quite understand, but that's been a little bit of what we've gotten with Kubiak too.
26 points scored by Seattle. They get a W. 26 points scored by the San Francisco 49ers. They get a W. They go into Cleveland and get it done against Shadir Sanders in his second ever NFL start. 26 to 8, the final. The San Francisco 49ers improve to 9-4. It wasn't the most prolific offensive day, but when you're going up against this defense, you're just happy to get out of there with a win. And San Francisco not only got out of there with a win, but they wound up really dominating Cleveland down the stretch here, got out of there with relative ease. 3 scoreless quarters for the Cleveland Browns offense, who just doesn't seem to have much of anything outside of their ability to run the football a bit, but they can't put that into, or they can't translate that into points. Brock Purdy, 16 to 29, 168 and a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey had a pretty tough day against this stout Cleveland D, 20 carries for 53 yards and a touchdown. But like I said, they didn't need much more. The inability to score for Cleveland really was prominent in this one. So, Jesse, this was a game that nobody took for granted here. I mean, we all knew how good the Cleveland Browns defense was. So what did you make of San Francisco's ability to go in there and kind of dominate towards the end of this one?
Yeah, I mean, we can look at the Cleveland Browns and say, yeah, the 49ers should have won this one. No big deal. It is what it is. But they had a lot of reasons to lose this game. You got to remember the 49ers are yet to have a bye week. They're just now getting into their bye week. 13 straight weeks of NFL football is really, really hard to work through without a bye. Every single week, we see teams lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to, a.k.a. the Rams losing to the Panthers. This was a 1:00 game, so an early game, 10 a.m. Body clock game, essentially, for the 49ers. Traveling as well, inclement weather, and a short week. Not to mention, Jim Schwartz owns Kyle Shanahan in his career, something like 8-1 or 9-1 going into this game. So, yeah, the 49ers had a lot of reasons to not win this game. Not only did they win the game, but they dominated the game. And the biggest thing right now is that the 49ers are just 2 wins away from basically locking up a playoff spot. 11 wins gets you in my opinion. They play the Tennessee Titans coming out of the bye. That should be an easy win. And then they just need 1 win in the final 3 weeks where they play the Colts, who are flailing right now. They play the Bears at home and they play the Seahawks at home. So the 49ers set themselves up in a big way by beating the Cleveland Browns. And I think the best thing that came out of this was the way that Brock Purdy played. You know, I've been very critical of Brock Purdy. There's no shying away from that. My biggest issue with Brock is not that he's not a decent quarterback, but he tries to do too much. He tries to play outside of who he is. That's why I like Mac Jones so much. He knows exactly who he is. He plays within that style. He's not afraid to go out there and quote unquote dink and dunk. And Brock Purdy played, in my opinion, the best game he's played this season. Yeah, we can look at box scores and say the Cardinals game was a better game. But when you mix in the circumstances, when you mix in the context, and this is why you cannot box score scout, you mix in that there was some wind. You mix in that this is a very good defense on the road. All the things that I said, Brock Purdy never put the ball in harm's way throughout the course of this game. He made timely plays. Even the 50-50 ball that he threw to George Kittle was a very good decision because it wasn't on first down. It wasn't, early in the game. It's okay to make those decisions, but you have to do them at the right point in the game, and he was very fleet of foot. We can talk about the toe injury all we want, but his short area quickness is still there. And if that's what they're going to get from Brock Purdy, is him playing within who he actually is, then it should be very good for the 49ers down the stretch. The question is that who he's going to be week in and week out, or are we going to get more of what we saw against the Panthers? I don't quite know, but that game was very, very encouraging to watch from the 49ers and Brock Purdy.
We were very critical of Brock Purdy after that Panthers game, rightfully so. And Jesse, you had said if he goes out in this game and plays well, I'm going to give him his props. Hovering around that 50% completion percentage, but you mentioned some factors that might weigh into that. What in particular, though, did you notice in this game that was a stark difference from the Panthers game that had you feeling more confident about him now being back off the injury?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even the Cardinals game, he put the ball in harm's way multiple times throughout the course of that game. He would roll out to his left, throw across his body into the middle of the field. There were no interceptions, but he definitely was putting the ball in harm's way. Even before he had any touchdowns in this game, Z-Bot, I tweeted out at halftime, I'm more impressed with Brock Purdy this game than I was against the Cardinals. And that, again, that was before he had the rushing touchdown. That was before he had the passing touchdown. For me, it's just all about making quick, decisive, good decisions. And that's what we saw all game long. Not once did he put the ball in harm's way. And he made 2 or 3 plays throughout the course of the game. And this is what he does bring that Mac Jones doesn't, is because he has that short area quickness, because he is willing to push the ball down the field a little bit, he has the opportunity to make 2 or 3 plays a game that maybe Mac wouldn't. And so if he does that and plays within himself, then he's going to be fine. The 49ers are going to be fine. That was the most impressive thing, is just not putting the ball in harm's way. I want to throw this out, though, because, I thought I was done with hat bets this season. Brandon, I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself week 18. If the 49ers and the Seahawks have something to play for and they are playing all of their starters, I will put the hat bet back on the line. I am that confident that Sam Darnold will shit the bed if it comes down to it.
Wow.
It's
So
on, baby.
please take me up on the hat
Accepted.
bet. Only if both teams have something to play for. Do we have a hat bet?
We got a hat bet. It's on.
Let's do it.
Easily
Let's do
accepted.
it.
Oh,
Let's
you're going to
do
be
it.
wearing that monstrosity. You're wearing that monstrosity. You got no Warner. You got
Jesse.
no Bosa. I don't care whatever the hell you got. You're done. Done.
What was it right there in that moment that hit you? Because we weren't even on that topic. Something just hit you where you just got this confidence in that game. What was it right there?
You know what? I've been looking at these schedules, and there's an outside chance now with the Rams losing that the 49ers absolutely could win this division. I believe that there's a possibility that final game against the Seahawks could decide at least second place in the division, and potentially maybe one of these teams not making the playoffs. And if that is the case, that's exactly what I want, because give me, again, I've said this a million times, as much as I criticize Brock Purdy, I certainly trust him a hell of a lot more in a big game than I do Sam Darnold. I like my chances in that matchup.
Brandon, what are you making of Jesse here? Right off the bat of this W, he's coming right at you. Seahawks defense dominating. He says hat bets on the table.
You beat up Cleveland, you start drinking some of Jim Jones Kool-Aid. That's all I can say. So, look, it's going to come back around, and I don't think he understands that, and he knows better on this, that Bosa and Warner's impact in the defense going against this Hawks team is the impact that they've had on this Hawks offense for years. The two of those two guys, not just two dudes, but those are two of the best dudes at their position. In Warner's case, maybe the best at his position. And I think they've gotten around it. Big part of the helping hand on that's been the easier schedule that they've been able to walk through. You get to the end of the season when we're at our strongest or best, we're at nearly our healthiest by the end of the year too as well. Oh, by the way, it's a long day at the office, I think, for the 49ers at that point.
Now I got to ask, the hat that you, of course, famously wore on here, Brandon, Sourdough Sam, atop of your head, do they make that same hat with a blitz version of it? Is that
I've got myself something. They do make that hat actually for Seahawks, but I've got a very special particular hat ready for Jake or Jesse on this one. So I picked this one out long ago, and boys, when you see it, just
wow.
Well, we're not going to have to see it. You're going to put that baby on ice until next year, baby. I can't wait.
You can see the little fair eyes trembling a little bit there. If you could see, he's seen it. He knows what's coming, which makes me surprised he's left this crack open. He could have had the win and just held on to that win through all the offseason. But now I'm going to get to put him in that, and I get to do it potentially with us winning the division and potentially with us having number one home field advantage at that point. Oh my God. Yes. Yes,
Wow.
please.
Was not expecting another hat to be put on the table tonight. That's what we got. Cannot wait. Lastly, before we close the book here on the 49ers here, Jesse, back-to-back weeks of allowing sub 10 points. And we just watched that Carolina Panthers team score 31 against the LA Rams. I know that this Browns offense is nothing that anybody's scared of, but just once again, like, what can you say about this Niners D, as banged up as they are, the job Robert Saleh is doing here? Because, I mean, it's one of the best makeshift situations in the league this year, and I'm still in awe of it each and every week.
Yeah, I am as well. A lot of 49er fans are really worried about losing Robert Saleh. And if this continues, there is certainly a chance of that. I think what bodes well from a Niner fan perspective on this, not necessarily Robert Saleh, is that usually defensive coaches, it's much harder for them to get head coaching jobs, especially if they've had a crack at it and they've failed to a certain aspect. There are other young defensive coordinators in this league that I think other teams would probably take chances on before maybe a Robert Saleh a second time around. But as far as a defensive coordinator goes, Robert Saleh has been absolutely lights out, phenomenal. Does a great job of confusing, especially good or young or bad quarterbacks. And so, yeah, certainly, you know, when they play the Colts and when they play even the Bears and the Seahawks, the task will get tougher. But this defense is getting more and more confident. They're figuring out how to play well together. The secondary is pretty damn good. And that defensive line is starting to figure out how to get some pressure pretty consistently. The big move in getting Cleveland Farrell and White just before the trade deadline, those things have paid off big time for the 49ers right now. So they are looking much better. And really, this is a complete team. You know, the offense has contributed, the defense, but the special teams, you know, for the first time in a long time, Sky Moore has kind of come in and done something that the 49ers have not been used to since Ted Ginn Jr., and that is flipping the field repeatedly. And if they can continue to do that, Eddie Pinheiro is going to be coming back after the bye, I assume. So the special teams is the best that it's been in the Shanahan era. This team is winning by all means necessary. Complete team all the way around. They don't have to rely on one unit, and all of them are consistently playing good football.
Let's transition to the Arizona Cardinals, who lose yet another tight game, a list that's just endless this season. And we talked about it earlier, the woulda, coulda, shouldas, the what ifs. Add this one to that list. The Arizona Cardinals lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-17 to fall to 3-9. Jacoby Brissett out there slinging it as he has been since he became the starter. 40 attempts, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Zonovan Knight, real good in this game. 62 yards on the ground, was also effective in the pass game as well. Trey McBride continues to have an incredible season. Marvin Harrison Jr. was back, but Tampa Bay also had Bucky Irving back in this one. He was effective. Chris Godwin was back. He was effective. Kind of caught the Bucs at maybe a wrong time here, Mike, where they did have a couple of their better guys healthy. Arizona still holds an offense that can be potent on any given week to just 20 points, but still wasn't enough. What did you make of the Cardinals' 3-point loss to Tampa Bay?
I mean, just Groundhog's Day, man. It's just the Cardinals are in every single one of these games, with the exception of the NFC West games. Those are the ones we just get obliterated on, and rightfully so. Like, the NFC West is the best division of football, and unfortunately, we're the ones dragging everybody down. But Baker Mayfield, and I get it, he probably wasn't 100%. This is kind of what I felt like Baker Mayfield was going to do. He was going to play. He's a dog, man. Like, any chance he can get, he's going to go out there, and especially since they need this win. And the Panthers right now are on a, they're trying to go for the division as well. We held Baker Mayfield to 194 yards, 1 touchdown. So, I mean, for the most part, we did pretty solid. Bucky Irving came back. He really started kind of get going in the second half, 17 carries, 61 yards. I mean, overall, the Cardinals played pretty good, but it's just, when the defense does good, the offense goes MIA. The offense is good, the defense. It's just kind of one of those things where they could never play consistent football for 60 minutes. Now, the way that this offense started off this game, it was actually pretty darn miraculous. We had the ball for 7 freaking minutes, 11 plays, 73 yards, and interception. It's just good God, all these things that go against the Arizona Cardinals, you can't even say a nice thing. Oh, damn, I was doing a live play-by-play, and I was like, oh, man, that's one of the best runs Bam Knight has ever done. Next play, fumbles. You're like, what the, what is going on? You can't say anything good. And in the second quarter, 2 3-and-outs. We had the ball for 1 minute and 36 seconds in the last possession, and we scored a field goal. And the offense only really got going in the second half. So it's shoulda, coulda, woulda. It really is. I mean, I hate coming out here saying, "Oh, the Cardinals could have won this game. We could have won 3 or 4 games. We should have been, a 6, 7, 8 win team. We should have." But at the end of the day, unfortunately, it comes down to coaching. Like, I mean, not all of it, but the little things that kind of end up beating us, biting us in the butt is coaching. There was a specific drive that was happening. I believe it was 3rd and 1. And the Cardinals, it seemed like they were going to go for it on 4th down. Like, that's what it seemed like they were going to do. Instead of going for like maybe like a QB sneak or maybe pass it the ball to Trey McBride or Marvin, what they do is a play action fake and in double coverage, give it to Michael Wilson. And I get it. He's had some really good games in these last 2 games, but like, I just don't get it. And then we go for it on 4th down and we do a pitch out to the left-hand side to Bam Knight. It's like, we just get outcoached every single week. And that's not even to mention the last drive where we had over a minute and a half, 1 timeout left. But the way that they were playing this freaking game, they were dinking and dunking. They act like they had 3 timeouts. So I don't know. It all comes down to a lot of little things that end up beating us. Like, we beat ourselves. The offensive line is putrid. This is probably the best run attack we've seen from Bam Knight. But at the end of the day, it's Bam Knight. It's not like we're talking about James Conner or Trey Benson if he can stay healthy. It's just, it's an accumulation of a lot of different things. Can I take positivity away from this game? I guess you held them for 20 points, but you're 3-9. I mean, that's who you are. You are a 3-9 team. We are already start the mock draft season for Cardinals fans already. We're already starting looking to 2026. And right now, we just want to simulate the rest of the week or rest of the year because it's nothing to really look forward to. Like, other than Trey McBride, if you have him on fantasy football, Marvin Harrison Jr., if you have him on fantasy football, that's a cool thing. And I do got to give credit to Jacoby. Like, Jacoby Brissett is doing what he can and putting up the numbers when he's getting pressured 45% of the dropbacks. Like, his man's getting pressured and getting beat down left and right and getting abused back there, but he's still putting up numbers, which is really cool to see. So I think the Cardinals are probably going to start him next year, to be real with you. Obviously not the long-term solution. We have him on a 2-year deal. So if the Cardinals go the direction that I want them to, draft a rookie quarterback, have him develop under Jacoby Brissett, and hopefully hopefully we see some sort of light at the end of the tunnel, because right now they ain't no light. It's all dark right now for Cardinals fans, unfortunately.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Last year, the Kansas City Chiefs, 1-score game, they couldn't lose. It was impossible for them to lose. This year, they can't buy one. We see trends like this flip. It's just not consistent, right? It can't be. They've been so close so many times this year. I know they're 3-9, but is there any sense of optimism or reason for optimism right now? Or are most fans just like, what are we doing? Blow the whole thing up. There's no light at the tunnel.
The optimism would be there if we were sitting at a year 1 or year 2. Like, that's probably where optimism would come. Year 3, this is the NFL. There's no gimmies. There's no, cookie cutter BS. No, you got to win. You have to find a way to win. You're a year 3 head coach, and we can't be taking moral victories anymore. Like, this is the time where the Cardinals should have gone, or at least attempted to have a playoff berth. And with the way that this NFC West is shaken out, probably wouldn't have had a chance. Maybe they would have, who knows? But for the most part, what I'm hearing from fans, they want to blow it up, or they want to keep Jonathan Gannon. Here's the thing. The only reason why people are saying they want to keep Jonathan Gannon is because they truly don't believe Michael Bidwell, the owner of the Arizona Cardinals, is willing to pay 3 head coaches at the same time. Cliff Kingsbury, Jonathan Gannon, and the new coach. That's the only reason why people are convincing themselves that he is coming back. Because if you really had an option, ain't nobody would have bring him back, and no other fan base or organization would be dealing with what we're dealing with. Unfortunately, we have Michael Bidwell as the owner, and he's kind of a cheapskate. I want to blow it up. I feel like it's time. It's over. Let's get somebody new in here, and hopefully we can develop a rookie quarterback if that's the way the Cardinals decided to in 2026.
Well, I know you said it's mock draft season, but there's something to be said about playing spoiler, and you'll have the opportunity to do that against the division foe LA Rams this upcoming weekend, and we will talk about that game in just a second. Before we do, I want to give a shout out to my friends over at RotoWire. You've heard us talk about them all season long. You've heard me talk about my favorite premium tool, and that is the NFL odds tool over on RotoWire that allows you to compare all the odds for all the games across all the major sports books, all in one spot, including the Thursday night football game coming around the corner. And it is a good one at that in the NFC. Cowboys, Lions. You can get the best money line spread for the Cowboys over on DraftKings, the best line for the Lions over on FanDuel. You can compare the odds for all the games each and every week. And like I mentioned, that's just one of the many premium tools over at RotoWire. Become a premium subscriber today via the link in the description below. Click that, sign up, use the promo code RTS. That will get you a 15% off discount on a RotoWire premium subscription. Speaking of that, Cowboys-Lions showdown on Thursday Night Football. Let's give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. Here's my sleeper slip for Thursday Night Football. Dak Prescott with the free pick, more than a half yard. CeeDee Lamb, more than 24 and a half yards on his longest reception. And if the Lions want a chance to win this one, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have to go off, and we know he is capable of doing so. The Dallas Cowboys defense against the run, not great. So I think he has potential to go off in that one. If you want to tell this slip or, of course, create your own, link in the description below. Click that and sign up for Sleeper. Once you do, create an account and you will immediately get a free $20 entry. You can use that on Thursday Night Football, any of the games in Week 14, NBA, NHL, you name it, it's all there. Once you use your free $20 entry, use the promo code on your screen, RTS, and that will get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below. All right, we transition from Week 13 on to Week 14. And this, bit of a conundrum for Brandon here, because the Seattle Seahawks are taking on the Atlanta Falcons, 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Seahawks win. That's great. And they continue their voyage to potentially contending for that 1 seed, potentially winning the NFC West. The problem is the Seattle Seahawks win. Jake's draft stock rises. So there is a double-edged sword in this one. Who ends up victorious on this double-edged sword? Jake, obviously we know that you probably win in either scenario here, but who do you think wins in this football game between Seattle and Atlanta?
Oh, it's going to be Seattle. I would be absolutely shocked if the Falcons pulled this off. And I saw a bunch of delusional 49er fans on social media acting like they're going to, and I thought it was really cute. Anyway, I won't get too much into that. That's a waste of time. But Seattle's going to win this game. I'm going to give them, and I do, by the way, I agree with Brandon. They are the best defense in the league. I'm going to say they win 30-13. The Falcons aren't that great, but they kind of just hang around. They also haven't really played Seattle. So they haven't played Seattle. They still have the Rams on their schedule. Yeah, you almost beat the Jets. You probably should have beat the Jets. Well, you didn't. And I don't think you're going to beat Seattle either. 30-13 is my final score.
Jets are all the way back, by the way, with Ty God, T2, the legend at quarterback, so don't sleep on New York right now. Jesse, are you sleeping on Seattle against Atlanta, or are they getting it done again this upcoming weekend?
Well, I think I'm going to drop the reverse jinx. It worked last week when I said that the Carolina Panthers didn't have a snowball chance in hell at beating the Rams. That wasn't true. So I'm going to say the Falcons don't have a snowball chance in hell in beating the Seahawks. I'm going to go 27-17 Seahawks.
Mike, you keeping the ball rolling here on Seattle against Atlanta?
I so badly want to pick Falcons here. I really do. But no, Seattle's just going to win this game. I'm going to say 24-17 Seattle.
Dirty Birds versus the 12s. Brando, what goes down in this matchup?
Yeah, I think that you find some holes in the running game. Atlanta is not good at stopping the run, and then that's going to neutralize a little bit of what the Falcons do well, which is quick pressure. So I think to that side of it, you're going to do really well. And then to the defensive side of it, we played Kirk Cousins on this Falcon team last year, and this is a team defensively that gets pressure upon you. And so you need to have a quarterback that can move around a little bit in the pocket to navigate around that pressure and extend plays. Brock Purdy was able to do a little bit of this in the first game. We have, of course, Baker Mayfield in the Buccaneers game did this to us a little bit. We anybody that's watched Kirk Cousins over the past couple of years, especially since that Achilles, knows he's not moving around particularly too well. I think it's a long day at the office for him. The defense puts the clamps on the Falcons offense. They've been the best team in the league at stopping the run as the Seahawks defense, quietly the best in EPA, the second fewest amount of yards on the ground purely. They're going to do more of the same today. 24-10 Seahawks.
Atlanta has won one game since beating my Buffalo Bills in prime time, and everybody in here thinks it will remain that way. Speaking of winning one game, the Tennessee Titans, they've only won one game, and they're taking on the San Francisco 49ers on the road, and I got to imagine...
Bye week.
Oh,
49ers.
bye week.
That's next week. That's next week.
I was about to wait. I was going, man,
you know what?
Out there
bye
for a
week.
second.
So you remember that week when everyone in here was on the bye, basically? I just assumed that San Francisco was on the bye. But you want to know what? In my defense, that's another bye for you anyways, Jesse. I mean, what's the difference? A bye
2
week,
bye weeks in a row. We'll take
Tennessee,
it.
whatever.
Z-Bot, you got a new baby brain, man. You're barely probably holding it together right now, so nobody's going to hold you account on that.
I'm glad I'm alive and on the show, fellas. That's all I'm saying right now. But in all seriousness, two bye weeks coming up here for the San Francisco 49ers. We cannot wait to preview that game for you guys next week. Do not miss that episode. It's going to be nuts when we dive into that one. But let's dive into a divisional matchup that's actually going down this upcoming weekend. We just talked about it. It's the LA Rams. They're looking to avenge themselves after the loss to the Carolina Panthers. We talked about the Cardinals. It's spoiler season, and they have the opportunity to do so at home and knock the Rams to 9-4. Do they have the ability to do so, Brandon? I'll start with you on this one.
I think they actually have the potential in the way that they're set up right now. You looked at what Mac Jones did with the Niners and throwing the ball with the short intermediate game. That's certainly a lot of what Jacoby Brissett's done so far. Arizona's found some decent balance in there, even though they're bad. They're like fourth running back or something like that. So they are at least, set up from a way standpoint in that way to be able to go after this Rams defense, I think, and be able to attack them where they're a little bit vulnerable. And all defenses have some vulnerabilities, of course. But at the end of the day, I think the Rams need this game too much. They're going to be hungry coming off that loss. And this Cardinal team has just been one, unfortunately, that just is not ready to roll right now. Offensively, especially, I think they're going to get after Brissett pretty good. And so I give this nod to the Rams. I think they win it comfortably 27-10.
By the way, I mean, where is this? My man Beef Supreme, right? The Bills hate will not stop. Did you watch the Pittsburgh game Sunday? We're back, baby. Bills are back. I mean, now, of course, I can't find it. I'm fumbling the ball all over the place on this one, but he said the Bills ain't winning anything. Beef Supreme, I see you. Who's winning this one? Rams, Cardinals, Jesse. Can Arizona play that spoiler on Sunday and find a way to force the Rams into losing 2 straight?
Yeah, they definitely can. It's going to be a lot harder now that the Rams are coming off of a loss in a game in which they shouldn't have lost necessarily. So I don't know that they'll be on a spoiler alert this week. I will go with the Rams to win. I think it's going to be close, though. I do think the Cardinals are a bit of a live dog here for sure. I will go 24-16 Rams.
24-16 Rams, says Jesse. Jake, what say you? Bounce back spot for LA here. Do they take advantage of it?
Yeah, this is what's going to happen. There are a lot of 49er fans that are just praying to God that the Rams lose, so you can't take anything that they're saying except for Jesse, seriously. So the Rams are going to win this game 28-20. It's going to be close. Arizona, you can tell who watches the games and who doesn't. If you have Arizona getting like absolutely 44-10 or whatever, you haven't been paying attention. Arizona stays in games. Jacoby Brissett can manage that game. He can also throw down the field. He's not afraid. Michael Wilson's playing really well. And Trey McBride is always an issue. Plus, I still like a lot of their defense. I mean, I still think the biggest issue with Arizona is the fact that they didn't figure out their quarterback situation until later on. And at the end of games, they blew it. And that's the thing. Like, they were in most of the games. I remember us talking about this, Mike. Like, this is a team that should be, I think they're better than their record based on their players. I think the coaching staff is absolutely pissed away this season. So that said, I think the Rams do win this game 28-20. But I already know people are going to be like, see, the Rams barely beat the Arizona Cardinals and then lost to Carolina. And then what's going to happen is they're going to smack the literal shit out of the Lions. And everyone's going to be like, yeah, the Lions aren't good, I guess. So, like, yeah. And then we're going to see on Thursday night against Seattle. But the Rams win this one 28-20.
Can't wait for that Lions game. I don't know what jersey Jake's going to wear on the show. He might pull out his powder blue golf for that game, his second favorite team. We'll get into that one.
My color rush golf jersey.
Mike in the last.
It's
last
a relic, right?
Defense. It is, right? I mean, I kind of feel bad for Goff right now. It's just it's not looking good. But I know Jake. I know he really feels bad for Goff.
I don't. The pass rush needs to get going, and trust me, that is going to be the game where they get going. I'm telling you that right now. We're going to see it.
Mike, is this the game the Arizona Cardinals get going? It's the last line of defense.
Come on, Mike.
Stand between the sweep here. Is it possible? Can your Cardinals pull it off against LA?
The expectations between this roundtable and the freaking chat, man. I'm sorry to hate burst your bubble, guys. I get it. There's so many, and then bless your guys' heart for coming on my chat and giving me hyped up. I really do, man. But like the Cardinals right now, they just can't seem to find a way out of a freaking paper bag right now. Like anything could happen. And also, like on the other side of the coin, this Cardinals team, I don't know who's gonna come out. I really don't. Like the last two NFC West games were brutal. If I would say it happens again, of course I would be pissed, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think the Cardinals can hang around in this game just because obviously they're going to be forcing it a lot for Matthew Stafford because they run away from the pass. So it makes it a little easier for the Cardinals there. But I do think it's going to be at least a 10-point game. I think the Rams are going to win. I'm going to say 38-25. I would say the Rams win this game.
No faith for the Arizona Cardinals, but I will say last week there was no faith for the Carolina Panthers, and they got it done. So we shall see. We can't wait to recap that game with you next week. We can't wait to dive into some super chats. It's the best time of the show. Brando, could you please cue me in? We're locked and loaded, and we're nearly 900 of you in the building as we start to dive into 34 super chats and counting. We'll kick things off with my man Tommy, who's coming in saying, Jakey, we welcome Pick Six Stafford back with arms.
Damn.
Hey, we knew he was due. I'm just glad he didn't throw it when I was able to watch the Rams beat the absolute fuck out of the 49ers in person.
Industry worth dropping a super sticker. I wish they'd show the
I know,
super
they don't
sticker.
show.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
I don't
StreamYard needs to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll call my guys over at Google. I'll see if I can get something done about that. Feed me more. Do you believe the Abdul Carter story was true? If you know, you know. I don't think it is. Clearly.
What's the story?
Oh,
What's
man.
I want to know what it is now.
It's a little NSFW. There was a tweet going around. He had his headphones unplugged on the laptop in a team meeting. That one
There's
of those,
no way. There's no way that's true.
There's one of those NFL Centel accounts, and it went nuts.
I mean, there's stories back in the day in the late 80s of dudes whacking it in the room. Charles Haley.
That's crazy.
Letting it out for a ride in mid film review session. So I don't know, man. It's possible.
It's so funny to me because I don't know if you guys ever heard this, but apparently Hideki Matsui, when he was on the Yankees, used to watch Asian porn like right before every single game, like loud. Like
that's crazy.
That was his pregame ritual.
Mode, every guy's got their ritual. That's whatever it takes you to lock in.
If it works, it works. But yeah, that's the first thing I thought of, and I don't know. Abdul Carter, I would never have drafted him at all. I was not high on him, and I think the maturity issues are showing. It's going to take a while to get anything out of him.
Yeah, not going well for Abdul Carter. He did technically record his first full sack against the Patriots in a blowout loss, and it was like a half-yard loss.
They just did this with Thibodeau too, which is weird. Same type of kind of guy that you have a little bit of questions with on whether he's just all in that way. Like you'd already gone down this road, why you went back down the same road again. Kind of strange from the Giants' perspective.
They had the highest grade on him. That's what they just went with the best.
They're devaluing that off the field stuff, and this is what I'm saying. Like obviously you did that with Thibodeau, and you're doing this again. Like you're not learning, but this is again why they're bad for years because they don't learn from their mistakes.
To be fair, look at this. Have you ever seen a pass rush class where it's like character issues? I mean, I was like, what the hell? The only one that didn't have character issues was Michael at the top.
Yeah. They were definitely playing with that right on the line. All those guys were with some of this stuff. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
You got to have the organizational fortitude to be able to support it. Well, when you're the Giants, it's not going to work. And that's why,
if you're developing,
if
you're developing, you can't do it. If you've got we got vets in here that are going to hold this kid's, nose to the grindstone. That's one. But if you don't have that, then you got to stay away. It doesn't matter how high a grade you got on them.
Yeah.
Tommy's totally saying, Jakey, you got briced.
I mean, yeah, it happened. The other one I had a rebuttal for. This one I'm just gonna let you have.
Industry, the super sticker's so great that we can't see. He dropped it. Appreciate. I want to see it. I really do. I mean, I got to imagine it's awesome, but we really appreciate the support. We have the Warhammer saying, "I love that we're finally the team that sends other fan bases into existential crises. Go Hawks." How about that?
Those Viking fans were going through it last week, man. They're like, no, Brax Brosmer, man. Look, we didn't have him out early because like JJ would have like his pride hurt because Mac's better. Okay. Max is better than JJ, and we're trying to like put him in a little bubble wrap. Yeah. So now we're ready though now. So you're ready to get the Tom Brady experience here with Mac Brosmer. So they were
dude,
talking themselves into it this last week.
I was sweating that game like crazy because I took Brosmer's completions.
Over?
I had him and Shador, and I hit them both. Shador pretty easily. Yes.
Oh, and you are sick. You are sick for parlaying that right there. Those two. That is insane.
That is insane. You're kind of a psychopath.
I hit him. I'm not even going to say how much I put on it. I put a lot. So I was actually, this was like a 10. I was sweating it out because I thought, Brosmer, he's going to complete like 20 passes. No. And I think the last two possessions, he got picked on like the first throw of those two. So I was so sweaty. And then he got it on that like quick hitter that he threw to, I think it was Naylor to the sideline. And they're like, are his feet in bounds? And I was like, they freaking better be. So yeah, I got it. But man,
I've seen some sick bets. I don't even know how you came up with that, much less put money on that. And how, the
I
fact
was just
that
feeling it.
I can't believe it. Dallas is coming in.
Feeling it.
If Cowboys win out, how does the NFC playoffs finish? I mean, that offense is cooking. I'll say this right now, according to the New York Times, the Cowboys have a 23% chance to make the playoffs. With a win over Detroit, it goes all the way up to 41%. So it is a massive game.
That is one
Thursday.
team that I think a lot of teams would love to avoid. Dak is hooping. The defense has actually picked it up since the trade deadline because they made two massive trades on defense. Dallas is an interesting team if they can sneak into the playoffs. I'll say that.
I agree. Dak is, I mean, he should be in the conversation for MVP. He never should have left.
If they make the playoffs, he should be. Yes.
Yeah.
He's stellar,
who's the
man.
team that drops out though for them to take over? It ain't coming from. I think all three of us in this division make the playoffs.
Well, the Lions aren't going to make it. Maybe
the Packers might not.
No, it'll be the Seahawks week 18. What are we talking about?
No, so no, hold on. So who's currently the 5 would be the NFC West team.
Yep.
And then there's 2 more spots, which will be either the NFC North. The last 2 spots are the NFC North, either both of them, or it's a team like the Panthers or Tampa, depending on how that goes down, or it's the Cowboys. So yeah, I mean,
the 49ers, the 49ers and Seahawks are 2 of the final.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're right. Okay, so it's
there's like one. There's one spot. Maybe
Sam shits the bed.
There's literally one spot. There's such a log jam.
Keep trying to say it. They'll make a reality. It's gonna be hard for them to get there. This is going to be a tough path for them to run the table.
I swear, if that happens, I'm going to be insufferable. Just be ready for it. You better hope
I can handle the heat in this furnace just as long as you're good with the flames coming back, licking you the same way.
None of the 3 teams in the NFC West are missing the playoffs, guys.
I was going to say, if Seattle misses the playoffs, not only do you have to wear the hat, Brandon, but you might have to carry the boombox on your shoulder the entire stream if that ends up happening.
I'm not going to put a Guns hat on top of the Niner hat at that point.
Seattle would have to lose. I mean, so you have 9 wins, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you would have to theoretically lose every game except for maybe 1.
Yeah.
No, they have to get to 11 wins. So what do we got? 5 games left. You just have to win 2.
Do they have to get to 11?
11 is going to have to be the number. Yes.
Well, okay. So the 49ers get to 11 with 2 wins, right? And there's 5 games left, or 4 games. Is it
4
5
for the 49ers, 5 for the Seahawks. So they both need to get to 11 wins.
I mean, the Falcons game's right there, so that's a win. That's 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Colts game is in Seattle. So I think that's a win as well. And then the Panthers game is going to be tricky. I mean, they have a tough road. The Rams, the Panthers at home, completely different team. And I don't think they're a great matchup for Seattle. And then the 49ers on the road. So, I mean, that's not a great 3, but I think they win the next 2 at the very least. And they're in the playoffs.
The problem is if they get to 11 and Dallas gets to 11, Dallas owns the tiebreaker because they have the tie. They have a tie game. So they have less losses. We got to abolish
ties, man. But, okay, so
totally.
So Dallas this Thursday is everything for them.
And it's everything for Detroit. It's a playoff game.
So, and that's in Detroit. Okay, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Then the Vikings they'll beat. I don't trust the Vikings. The defense will play well. I don't trust the Vikings. The Chargers, I don't trust them. They don't have either of their top tackles. The Commanders, I mean, I could see them playing inspired football. If Jaden Daniels is out there, that could be tough. It's a rivalry game. And then the Giants
we're spending way too long for an NFC East team. That's not even the NFC West.
Well, I mean, it was
yeah, but it's playoff scenarios. I mean, this is
playoff scenarios. It's the super chat as well.
You got to remember, though, Mike, he is in mock draft mode. He doesn't really want to talk about the playoffs, and that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, Mike, here's Arizona. Oh, there's an E right next to it. Sorry. I tried.
Oh, yeah. Well, damn, come on. Let's get through it.
Well, listen, while we're on the
I've never
topic,
seen one of those before.
We're on the topic of non-NFC West topics, and I know it's not a super chat, but when it's free, you got to put it on the screen. Dolphin Boy saying AFC East owns the NFC West. Just wanted to give a shout-out to Dolphin Boy for spitting facts there. Love that. Purdy coming in. There's not a snowball's chance in hell the Panthers are beating the Panthers.
He meant the Rams. That's what I said last week. That's why I brought it out again for the Falcons and Seahawks.
Everyone was
Did you get
all
the Megan
over it.
donation there too? I think you bounced back Megan's.
Once again, we're in this conundrum where like things just don't get started.
Yeah.
I didn't see
By the way, the Packers, which was not brought up, their schedule is insane. They have to play the Bears twice. They have to go to Denver, and they play the Ravens.
Yeah, that's tough.
Where's Megan at, Brando?
We got Freddie Baseman, I think, started us off at 5:36.
What is up with this thing?
It's because they're doing it before the stream starts. That's why it doesn't show up on your end. Yeah.
All right. If you're in here now, I will say tip for next time. Wait till I hit the live button 5 minutes late, as I always do. You know, we like to show up casually late because we're fashionable. For some reason, it doesn't start for whatever reason. So I'm giving my pointer finger a workout right now. We're scrolling all the way up. But, you know, as we were talking, that Thursday night football game, by the way, it is a playoff game. So you're going to want to tune into that one in the NFC there. It's going to be nuts. Freddie K. Baseman saying, not worried about the Rams D. Rainy day equals run the rock. And, yeah, Jake, you touched on that. The weather played a bit of a factor in that game. And Panthers just had a good outing. They have an incredible rushing attack, by the way. I know it hasn't been great the last couple of weeks, but you know, there's one point in the year where they were up there towards the top of the league. We have Michael coming in. I know I'm posting this before the show even starts. How about that? We were just talking about it. But I could not disagree more with Jake and his typical dragged out rants gloating the Rams this episode. I'll accept all praise he sent, though. Go Hawks. Shooting a shot, Michael, before the show.
Seattle, I think they're really good. I think they're number 2 in the league. And Seattle fans are actually fun to interact with. Obviously, I've interacted with the 49er fans in person. Those are a lot more charming. The 49er fans on Twitter, I could leave them. They're not fun there. Because it's one, like, Jesse the constant lambs. I have a rule. I won't respond to you anymore if you say lambs, sea chickens. I don't even know what they call the Cardinals at this point, or the whiners. I'm over it. Can we be grown men and women and say the actual names of the teams? That's what I did when I was 5. Like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, I'm tired of that. I will not even.
For the record, I don't like 49er fans on Twitter, so there's that.
Yeah, well, I see why. I mean, most of them are brain dead, but that's just, from my experience.
Lock in. I saw at least 3 super chats that said the word lamb in it, so you better lock in, Jay. We can be grown men next week, but I got a feeling we're going to have to say the word lamb a couple of times before we end the show. Megan coming in. Hawks win. Rams lose. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to Megan. She let us know last week. And all Megan wanted for her birthday was a Seahawks W. She got that and then some. They showed up and showed out for you, Megan, who's coming back in with a tangerine. Hit that button again one more time for me, Brando. Meg saying Rams lose. Hawks win with a shutout against the Vikes for the first time in 14 years. Only thing better, 3rd place in fantasy in a week 1 bye. Wow, I want to be in your league, Megan, with a week 1 bye with the 3rd place there. How's did you go, B? Happy birthday to me. Let's go Seahawks. She's got to be in like what, a 20-person league to get a bye.
She's in my league. And how's it going with me? I have Jacoby Brissett as my starting quarterback. So that's how it's gone in my league this year.
He's putting up numbers.
I'm going to have to. Okay, so when we finish this, I'm going to go back and watch all the times you were talking about Jacoby Brissett and see if there was some bias there because of the fantasy football ownership.
Hey, you'll notice he gets those good easy completions in there, just pumping that ball out, just stacking up the stat column, if you were.
Just go back in time and listen to Brandon in certain episodes. Yeah, I really think they should just only throw it in this game. Just keep throwing it.
Basically all they do.
You're throwing running backs route. Why would you? Yeah. You're down to your 15th running back. You're not trying to throw.
Yep.
Guys, Marvin Harrison Jr., top 7 pick. Validated.
The best YouTube username on the internet, it has some company. Quantum Sausage in the building. A new sausage has entered the arena.
Oh my!
I think
God.
Matt Stafford might have a turnover problem. Go Hawks! We have a Hawk sausage, Brandon.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, let's go!
Oh my God! We got Tommy right. Okay, so we're back to where we were. All right. Once again, if you're watching, we appreciate every single super chat. We'd love to see him and me. Who, of course, I'm good for a nice fumble on the goal line every now and then. I got to see him. So wait till the stream starts. Boom. It will get read. That is a guarantee. All right, where were we? We were here with 8089er saying, whose house? Bryce's house. Bang, bang. Damn. Let them know how sorry the Panthers are, Jesse.
Well, Panthers suck when they play the 49ers, but apparently when they play the Rams, possibly the Seahawks, they like to win. So there we go.
Both the Rams and the Seahawks just so happen to play them on the road. So
hey man, listen, we don't want to talk about specifics around here, right?
It is funny how not you, Jesse, but this almost felt like the 49ers fans Super Bowl because they realize 42-26 happened and there's no more knocks at the Rams. And so it was like I got more flack from Niners fans like, oh yeah, did you see like Brock Purdy beat the Browns and the Rams lost to the Panthers, take it. And I'm like just sitting here like, all right, I'm already on to next week. It sucked. Like, it is what it is. Yeah. I get a kick out of that because it's just like, I don't know. I don't see why it's such a big deal.
Jake also gets a kick out of the word lambs. Purdy's coming here saying, Jake, your lambs lost to the Niners C team. Get over your lambs. It's the NFL and it's any given Sunday.
Yeah, it's any given Sunday. So why all of a sudden the any given Sunday when the Rams lose or a top team loses, now they're like exposed. Now it's over. Like you're giving the excuse, and yet at the same time you'll say, this is why we can't trust them. This is why they're not good. It's like, I always got a kick out of that too.
Well played. Daniel's coming in saying, looks like Stafford is a pumpkin and an old one at that. Wow, Stafford getting ripped on this episode.
Listen, man, I'll tell you, 49er fans couldn't wait for this game from Stafford. Like, this is like preying on the downfall. Now they're just like, he's back to full turnover prone. I love it.
4 touchdowns against them. I get it. I mean, he threw 7 against them entirely. So
pretty good. Saying, Jake, excuses are like a-holes. Everyone's got one.
Yeah, I know. But you created the excuse. You said any given Sunday. I didn't. I gave a football reason.
Back in the building. Just wants to shout out the roundtable.
Appreciate you.
Shout out to you, industry. We appreciate you. We got the reckoning. If the Rams never went away from the run, they could have prevented the 2 turnovers and won that game. Kicker issue, has he not watched the last 2 weeks?
Jesse watches every game.
The reason that I brought it up is because there were talks about bringing Cardi back and trying to figure all that out. So I'm like, are they not sold on this whole thing? Like, what's going on there? So that's
Cardi's like their guy. They love Cardi, but they made a change with Mevis. Mevis it's like going with what's working, but they wanted Cardi back on the practice squad. That's all that was.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I brought it up. I'm like, why is Cardi all of a sudden back on the practice squad? Are they like considering going back? Like, what's going on?
And this is why I defend you, because it's the opposite. It's not that you're not watching. You're actually more involved than the average person. So you knew that, and most people probably didn't even know that. They're probably, to his point, they're like, oh yeah, like, didn't they get a field goal blocked in week 3? I've seen it all over the internet. Like, people are still talking about that. So, yeah.
Well, if things don't go well, you can make a move for Younghoe Koo, who just had the greatest field goal attempt in the history of the NFL.
Did you see that bet?
Jeez.
Did you see that bet?
God.
Tell me you saw that bet.
The guy who bet minus 275 on a field goal attempt and it didn't
threw
count.
$1,000 down that they would attempt a field goal on the 4th drive, and he literally missed the ball because he kicked into the.
Wow, I didn't see that. That's crazy.
Who's dumping a grand?
It's the snap was bad. That's what happened. If you saw the slow mo, I don't know if you guys saw the slow mo, but the snap was the hold was horrible. He had the thing held sideways like this, and it threw off the kicker as he was approaching it. It's really bad. Watch the slow mo. It's really bad.
Even if he makes a sliver of contact, this dude wins his bet because it's considered an attempt.
Oh, geez.
And he didn't even make contact with the football.
That's crazy.
That's where it seems like.
Go ahead, Brandon. Go ahead.
No, you're good. It just that seems like where it seems like God Himself is like, you're not getting this money.
Well, and I agree. You know what? Good on God, because don't put $1,000 on an attempted field goal on the fourth drive of the game.
When Joe Buck came back,
God was up there like, this is just too stupid. I've got to cancel this one. This is just, I can take a lot of moronic crap, but this is beyond the pale. Young Winku, he's on his third team.
Yeah, he just pressed the Charlie Brown button.
Troy and Joe Buck were laughing on to the break, and they came back from it. I was dying when Buck just said, well, they counted it as a sack. And I just thought that was the funniest thing ever because no one knew what to do after watching that. So we heard earlier that the weather, of course, was an issue in the Carolina game for the Rams, and Vegas is saying, well, what will the Rams do in the rain against Seattle?
I mean, we'll see. Is it going to rain? I don't know. I would assume it's probably going to rain, right?
Yeah, I don't think Stafford's got as rich a history of being necessarily bad in the elements. You guys did good against the Eagles last year in the conference championship with pretty inclement weather there. Stafford had to make some throws in that game. So it's going to be, I think it is an advantage to us first, you guys having perfect conditions for that offense. I think if your offense was able to pick one or the other, having a dome, climate controlled versus having to go on the road and the wind and the wet and all that, I think you take the former. But with that being said, it's it's an advantage for us, but it's an advantage for us for every team that goes in there, being more used to it. And it's just a different kind of weather to play in because it's not just the cold, it's not just the wet, it's not just the wind. It's all three of the combination a little bit, which just makes it sometimes a little bit harder to execute your offense, especially.
Cheeto. Carolina is by no means better, but just seemed more prepared for what Stafford wanted to do. Rams are not bad by any means, but it seemed like they got caught off guard. I think Carolina just put together a great game. And mistakes from the Rams, and it all kind of came together. It was a perfect storm.
It's set up to the Rams run the light box defensively, and the Carolina Panthers have invested as much in that offensive line quietly as just about anybody in the National Football League. And they run the ball when they decided to, back to Jesse's point about playing the Niners, when they actually stay committed to running it, they're pretty good at it. So it's one of those things where football is a matchup game, and sometimes the matchup's not in the best favor, and a little bit of the elements come into play as well. And then you have the flip side of that. The Rams don't run the ball, which is what they probably should have been doing, as we've seen a couple of people note already in a few of the donations. And so it's where everything goes to Stafford on this, Jake. And like some of this, as I've done a couple of times, it goes to the play caller sometimes. Sometimes it's on their plate, the blame. We always go to the players, but to me, it's also sometimes the attack.
It's so hard with Stafford too, because you don't know what plays he checked out of and whatnot. Like that was another thing, like where I guess in the 49er game, the 4th and 1, he wanted to run the football, and I don't even know what happened, but like the point is, like, it's hard to know because like he has so much leeway, he can change the play entirely at the line, and he has done that. So it's tough, but yeah, I still think McVay choosing just not to run, that's on him.
Our Lambs counter was at 2. Let's crank it up to 5, where Michael says Lambs won, had 52% of the chat. Lambs lost. They currently have 25% of the chat. Yeesh. Lambs fans are the most fair-weathered fans in the NFL.
I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of the way a lot of Rams fans are on social media after they lose. I'll be the first one to tell you that. I think they're incredibly negative. The Rams just won 6 straight games. They beat Seattle, which a lot of Rams fans said they weren't going to do. They beat the 49ers, which a lot of Rams fans were worried they wouldn't do. And they beat the Bucks, who a lot of Rams fans were like, oh, it's a trap game. I mean, like wins in like win streaks die. It happens. The Rams aren't playing. Sorry, they're not playing the 6th easiest schedule of all time like the Patriots are. Yeah. So there you go. I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, oh God, don't even get me started. All right, give me a little love here, Brando. We got a tangerine coming in from my man Matt.
Oh,
Matt saying, showing my versatility, going from watching I, Frankenstein straight into talking football. The Panthers win over us didn't surprise me too much. Kind of saw it as a possible trap game. Seen crazier things happen in football. How about right on cue? A nice level-headed Rams fan there, Jake.
Yeah, well, Matthew's one of the all-time best people that I've come in contact with, having been a content creator, so that doesn't surprise me. Also, if I'm not mistaken, Matthew is in the Carolina area, so he knows a thing or two about this team. I mean, I've been monitoring this team. I'm really impressed with the job Dave Canales has done with Bryce Young. I don't think that's talked about nearly enough. And I do think the three wide receivers being 6'3" and above is a really interesting mismatch for corners and DBs. So they're a weird team. Would I want to see them again? Absolutely. I'm not terrified of the Panthers, but they're that team, and Brandon's going to see it. If they get up on you early on, or even if you get up on them and they come back, Bryce Young is clutch, man. He really is. And that's not talked about nearly enough. Mike saw it firsthand. I mean, that game should have been over. Now, the officials definitely kept that game going. That game should have been over for more than one reason, but Bryce Young kept him in that game. And I mean, he's got stones, man. He's not afraid. He will make throws, and he's a good quarterback in this league.
We appreciate you, Matt. Levis is coming in.
I Frankenstein, by the way, worst name for a movie title in history. I don't that who are you selling that one on? Frankenstein.
Yeah, what
I
is
gotta
that?
Go see that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm out. But Matt, I'm in on you. We appreciate you, brother. Levis is coming in. What was a closer fight? The Seahawks versus the Rams, or the Rams versus the Panthers?
Definitely Seattle and LA. Because it felt like that was like they're inching closer every single time they went down the field. It was like a closer field goal. And you could see, like, if that game went on longer, I mean, regardless of the field goal miss, Seattle probably wins the game. Like, it was just one of those things. The Rams held the lead for the entire game, but if that game went to overtime or something, I probably would have taken Seattle to win.
It definitely felt like the closer game, the Seattle Rams game for sure. Plus, with the all of that at stake there in the division, those two teams, how good they've been, certainly felt like that was it. And we'll get the rematch not too long from now. Edwin's coming in.
Yeah.
I'll take a play from there's your Sea Chickens there, Jake. Add that one to the counter. I'll take a play from the Sea Chickens even after the interceptions. We only lost by 3. Mike is so desperate to talk crap about the Rams. R.I.P. Cardinals.
I didn't really think Mike was that hard on the Rams.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I just want to have a talk every once in a while.
Hey, why aren't they running the football, Mike? You're absolutely right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're absolutely right. I'm just going to start wearing find me a beanie that says run the damn ball, and that will be on my head every single freaking week.
Definitely has to be in existence. I think I've seen a shirt actually that says it, so there's got to be.
I've seen a hat, but I just don't like hats anymore for some reason. So I'll do a beanie. I'll find one. I'll be back.
Reckoning. Rams division still. Everyone keep hating. Horns up. Cheeto. Mike, I have never been more hopeful and supportive for you. All to win this week. I'll be on your stream rooting for you, brother.
Same.
Go 9.
The Seahawks fans, man, they're nice, man. They're really, really nice, and I know it's for their benefit, but don't hold your breath, man. Don't hold your breath.
I was gonna say that spoiler role, man. It can be fun. I know it sucks, but it can be fun.
You got all of our backing this week, Mike. You got all of the power of the
Appreciate
Pacific
you.
Northwest as a wind for your sails.
Fernando. Hawks still lost to the Rams. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. They will lose again. Happy holidays. Go Rams. Deuce. Tangerine. Hit me, Brando.
Go!
Deuce saying Rams will bounce back like they usually do. McVay will lock in with all this talent on the team. And I think the one thing here that you kept saying to Jake, there's a 6-game win streak going into that game. There wasn't a soul who didn't have them at the number 1 spot of their power ranking. So I don't even know how much there is to bounce back from. I mean, they lost by 3 to a team that could very well win their division. So, it's
that doesn't fit a narrative though, Z-Bot. You know that.
Sure.
And I got more annoyed with the MVP conversation. And so it's just not even fun for me to talk about anymore because everybody's just like on a Drake May love fest. And it's a shame because I actually really like Drake May. And as you guys know, I said it over and over again, the Patriots were my team to shock everybody. And I'm not surprised what they're doing. But this whole Drake May's better than Matthew Stafford now. Or my favorite, he's a red zone touchdown merchant. What the fuck are you talking about? Can we get rid of blank merchant like from sports talk? It's the dumbest shit ever. I can't stand it. He's a goal line, so he's good at scoring touchdowns in the red zone. That's actually a skill. I can name multiple running backs that suck at that. You know what I mean? Let's just eliminate merchant from sports talk, please.
Jake's going to send me over a Word doc after the show of all the words we cannot say. Lambs, sea chickens. We have merchant. The list could get longer by the end of the show. Add it to the list. By the way, speaking of those Patriots,
we need a constitution. I'm telling you.
Bill's got a rematch with him a week from Sunday. Don't get too hot on the Patriots right now. 10-win streak. Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn? 1 week from Sunday. Mumbles. Geez, Jake, with the amount of stats you brought up, it just sounds like cope over the fact that the Rams lost unexpectedly.
Damn, they're coming.
They did lose unexpectedly, but also, yeah, add Cope to the list. I can't stand that either.
Cope on the list.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. I mean, it's like
I don't like Cope either, to be honest with you. Megan, do it, B. Let's go.
I think that's
She
for
means
the
the
hat
hat
bet,
bet.
probably. Yeah.
Oh, let's go. Yeah. Come on, baby. I'm stoked for the hat, man.
It's on,
You
Megan.
can't-
We're getting this thing on his head. We're getting this thing on his head. It might have taken us a while. It might have taken us 17 weeks.
hey, Mike,
Time's
hat
coming.
bet.
Imagine we got to see Brando rock that thing again. Oh, my.
Yeah, Mike, why don't you put your balls on the table here, boy? Come on,
Yeah,
let's go.
spoiler week, baby. Come on.
Wait, really?
Oh,
No way.
That would be
That'd
so
be so
great.
crazy.
especially if Jake had to wear it. It would just be great. It would be awesome. Roger. Stafford had his WTF game of the year. All good. Still, we will be Super Bowl bound in Santa Clara. Mike, will you be at the game this weekend? If so, take a shot for me. Another one in your corner there, Mike.
I'll be watching the game live. No, I won't be I won't be giving no money to Michael Bidwell unless he actually proves that he wants to freaking win.
Mike's talking with his pockets.
I love
baby.
it.
Danny,
Let's go.
going to Hawks versus Rams. I'm hella pumped. Go Hawks. This division's out of control. This league's out of control right now. I mean, this is a
It
wild,
really is.
wildly. What a year. It's been
Definitely.
awesome. Daniel back in the building saying Niners beat the Dookie Stains. Now Jesse thinking Super Bowl.
I'm not going that crazy. I'm not even picking them to win a playoff game, but like I said it many, many weeks ago. I'm going to stick by it. Sam Darnold, if the game means something for real week 18, I don't like Sam Darnold's chances, but we'll see.
Cross out the 5 and add a 6 to the Lambs counter. Mike saying Z-Bot, ignore these fair weather Lambs fans. They don't even know when their own team plays. Whose house? Where do we play again? Oh, that's good. That's good. Good for you, Mike. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Daza. Sea Chickens, add that one to the counter. We are on fire here. If the Sea Chickens lose to the Rams and Niners, does that knock them out of the playoffs?
No, because you
No,
probably
not
handle
necessarily.
business against. Yeah, I mean, it's you try to take care of the Falcons this week, and then you get one more win to get yourself in at that point, and you have the Colts and the Panthers to do that with absent those 2 games. So, but if you lose to them, if you get still a playoffs, you get those other wins. You're surely not walking in there with a ton of confidence because you still haven't been able to even take down your own division. How hard would it be to think you're going to go in the playoffs and make a lot of noise at that point?
Prop up. If Bosa and Warner are even on the sideline, that might scare Darnold into a couple interceptions. Niners are winning that game. Ooh, the talk is already out with the hat being placed on the table,
love
man.
it.
I
It's
love
on.
it.
I would
on.
have no issue taking Sam Darnold and the Seahawks to win that game, week 18. None. Because I think
you want to put a hat down?
Well, I don't care to. I don't win either way. But I just think, a lot's being made of Sam Darnold. Brock Purdy is going to wet the sheets against that defense. Like, what are we kidding ourselves? Like, you know what I mean? Like, absolutely.
Damn.
Okay.
We're through 2
Confident.
interceptions, and it was almost 4 interceptions in that first game of the year.
In that first game of the year, Seattle
We're
was
in Santa Clara.
way different than what they are right now.
We're in Santa Clara. We'll see.
And
Jesse got one
Jesse,
look at Shadur, and he
you
said, I've
know
seen that
that
before. It's
too.
Sam Darnold.
I've said it many, many times. I trust Brock Purdy over Sam Darnold any day of the week.
yeah, I'll take Sam Darnold.
Yeah, we got money backing it up. And by money, I mean whoever's credit card's being swiped on that hat. Brenty, using my last $2 here. Would you rather?
And then he didn't say, and I think he did it. I think it's a shtick because I asked him in the chat, hey, just put it in. I'll remember it. And he never responded. So I think he's just messing with me.
Cheeto on fire tonight saying, Jake, I said hopeful the Cards would win. I'm not expecting them to, but that doesn't make me delusional to be hopeful. Cards don't have a snowball's chance. The reverse jinx could be on.
Let's go.
Love it.
Yeah, hopeful and delusional are different things. Delusional is this idea that like you actually believe this is the reality of what is to come and what is happening when it's not. And hopeful is just like, yeah, I really want them to win. They're probably not going to, but I'd like them to. It's a completely different thing. So you're good on that.
Russ Servantine. Jake, I will bet you that the Hawks will win in week 16. If I lose, I will wear Rams gear of your choice. If you lose, you have to wear Hawks gear. The problem is, Russ, we're going to have you on the show if that's the case. I
don't know. You know, let me sit on that with Brandon. I would do. I would consider.
Right. But I'm going to go back-to-back victories here.
Brandon's a gambling man.
But and I would consider.
I'm going to ride in the playoffs. We're riding hot in the playoffs, getting the rivals.
Here's why I'd consider it, Brando, because I don't despise Seattle with every fiber of my being. So if I did lose that, I could live with myself. Like, okay, I just had to put a Seattle hat on, whatever.
Ask Jesse about the hat I'm going to put you into. What do you think? Jesse, you want to let him know about that hat I'd have him wear?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it unless you're confident.
No, I mean, I haven't decided yet, but I'm just saying it's not the 49ers. If it was the 49ers, the Eagles, or a Jared Goff jersey, probably the three worst possible things.
Russ, I'm going to pick up your sword. I'm picking up your sword and I'm carrying into battle, Russ. So I got you, my guy. We'll nail down Jake.
One thing's for sure. If one of these two of these teams face off in the playoffs, there has to be a bet. I don't care if it's a hat or something, but for the love of God, there has to be something on the line because it feels inevitable that's going to happen, whether it be the Seahawks, the Niners, the Rams. We'll figure out what that's going to be, but the bets are too good, and especially when you have stakes on the line in the playoffs like that. So I think we're going to have to get creative here at some point. AZ Kraken. It's been a rough season being a Cardinals fan. Yep. Appreciate Mike and the entire roundtable for the content all year. NFC West is the best division in football. Appreciate you, Kraken. Thanks for continuing to stop in, brother.
Hell yeah.
Matt's back in the building saying Stafford going to pull a Larry Bird and throw left-handed this week. Oh, hell, y'all. Probably too young to remember Larry Bird.
No, definitely not.
It's one of the places that he doesn't get credit on that nobody talks about NBA history-wise, that he went into the Trailblazers game and he plays the whole game left-handed. And you can go watch this game. Go watch the Bird Trailblazers game. He played the effing game left-handed.
Dropped 47 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists.
Wow. How about that drop right there, Jesse? Good for you.
I mean, the balls. I'm going to come in this game, but I'm a right-handed guy and play left-handed the whole game. You're watching, and he's doing the shot. Not just like he's laying it up with his left hand. He's shooting it with his left hand from like a ways away from the Wild. Larry was a different breed.
That's way more impressive than the flu game. Why isn't that swapped out for that when we talk about like?
I don't know. It doesn't get talked about.
Michael Jordan.
Everything is about Michael Jordan. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. There was 100-point game scored. It's all Michael Jordan. That's all anybody cares about.
I'd rather be flying an X-Wing. It's going to be really weird next year having Mike Tomlin coach the Cards. Oof.
Ooh. Say less.
No, hey, you guys got some interesting names
want Mike Tomlin
about LaFleur's and Tomlins and Bella.
You want Tomlin?
Tomlin will get you to the door. He won't like walk you through the door.
You know how far we are from the door every freaking year? I will take the door at this point, brother.
No, you won't.
The door. Yes, I will.
You were just at the door in 2021. Do you want another 34-11 loss?
All I do is
let me rap on it.
Exactly.
Let me just give it a little rap.
Breathe on it. Get me there consistently.
No, Mike, I'm telling you. Okay?
You don't remember your days of a while ago. You're in this copium of Stafford right now.
No, that's not at all true. I went through it in 2022 after the Super Bowl, but even before that, before McVay came here, it was 6-10, 7-9. People used to say 8-8 Jeff Fisher. They don't realize that the Rams never went 8-8 with Jeff Fisher. They were always below 500 with Jeff Fisher.
Yeah, but we're coming off of 4 straight losings. I would take Mike Tomlin.
But 2021. Like, do you really just want to just get in the dance and not do anything?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
they don't have a playoff win since 2017.
Take this moment.
Yeah. Listen, don't tell Mike what he wants. All right, nobody puts Mike in the corner.
Right,
this is what he wants. Let him have it.
I'm trying to save you from just like consistent mediocrity. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
That is where you're headed.
That's what you don't understand.
That's where you're headed. I'm telling you, I
We're
see
eliminated by November.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Look at what you've done to these fans, Michael Bidwell. Look what you've done to these fans.
I'm going to tell you right now. The 2025 Arizona Cardinals are not a lot different than the 2016 LA Rams. And this is why I say that, because I believe they have plenty of talent on that team. In 2017, while I think McVay deserves a lot of credit, there's still a lot of holdovers from that 2016 garbage roster that ended up working with Sean McVay, getting them to 11-5, getting to the playoffs, hosting a playoff game his rookie year. A lot of those guys, Trumaine Johnson, right? He didn't last forever, but he's still on that team. Like, this is what I mean. Arizona has a lot of those guys that if you actually got a real culture-changing coach, you could have immediate success. You have a high pick. The Rams didn't even have that when McVay came over, so you're ahead of that, right? I really think Arizona needs to dip into finding a game-changing coach. Don't just get Tomlin. Don't just get Harbaugh. Like, don't get one of the guys that's already like, yeah, we know, like, no, you need to go out and you need to do something real risky. Gannon wasn't a risky hire. He was just a dude that was young and was coming off the Eagles, and people were like, yeah, that might work. He's one of the best defensive coordinators. No, you need to find a culture changer. And honestly, I think Chris Schul would be a great fit for you guys, truthfully.
You know, I made a video about it and actually added him, your defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. But honestly, if Mike Tomlin was available, I'm going to be real, I would be interested.
Tomlin, like I said, if you want to just lose in the wild card round, Tomlin's your guy. Right?
Let me have it. It's indoors. I think we'll be good. We'll be fine.
Yeah, Mike just wants the door, man.
I just want to smell it, man.
That's all right.
Poppy, who are the two teams you prefer not to face in a playoff run and Super Bowl due to style matchup? Sorry, Mike and the Cardinals fans. This is big boy talk.
I'll set myself out.
Oh, Lordy. That's such a good question, huh? I don't want to go to the Packers. I don't want to go to Lambeau in the middle of winter. I'd like to avoid that. That'd be the first one for me out the gate. And I don't really want to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers again, to be honest with you.
Interesting. I don't really have one, but if I have to answer the question, I guess Dallas is a little scary because a team that can just consistently score, and honestly playing Seattle again for a third time. I mean, even if that's the thing, you could win the season series. And yes, they won the season series. The last time they played Seattle 3 times in a year, they won all 3. But like, you know what I mean? Like, anything can happen in that third game. So I guess it's just those two, but I honestly, I'm not really worried about, and I'm definitely not worried about the AFC. I'm sorry, Ziba. I look at every single team there. If the one thing anybody has to look out for is if CJ Stroud can get back to playing where he was, that is a Super Bowl defense, and DeMeco Ryans is one of the best coaches in the National Football League. They are dangerous, but CJ Stroud has to take care of the football, and he has to be able to do something.
That defense can win games on its own. No question about it.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. The winner of this league is coming out of the NFC. I would be stunned if it was anything other than that, the way things have looked.
I mean, it's one game, but I mean, like on paper, you can't look at the AFC and be like, I totally expect them to. No. But like, when the game happens, I mean, we've seen it. We saw, the unstoppable Peyton Manning 55 touchdown offense. And it's like, the snap goes over his head. They give up the punt return. Like it's a snowball effect in the worst way. in the Super Bowl. So anyone can win. I don't want to be like ignorant to that fact, but on paper, as we're talking about it on December 2nd, I'm not taking anybody in the AFC.
Totally agree. Aiden saying first team all-pro offense and defense predictions. Bit of a long one there. I'll go around, though, and say one for your team that you think might make the all-pro list when it's all said and done. Jake, start with you.
Matthew Stafford.
That's a solid choice. Brando?
JSN.
Yeah, no question. Jesse, anybody making the all-pro list from the Niners this year or no?
CMC.
CMC. There it is. That's a good call. Mike?
McBride?
And maybe, yeah, why not?
Trey
He's been-
McBride.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
Good pull. All right, we could have 4. Be great. Wow, I lost track of the Lambs counter. Sorry, this one just closed the top of it. Pretty good. Lambs. The best YouTube username on the internet. It's Brown Sausage. Love you guys. Stay great. Go Hawks. 27-14 is Brown Sausage prediction for this upcoming
Heck
Sunday. Do
That
say
pick gets
Jesse, who do you not
go
want
ahead.
to face in the playoffs?
I would say Bucks and Eagles, just because the Rams were my Super Bowl pick, but that's a division game. I look at the Bucks, and I think Kalijah Cansey's going to be back. Mike Evans will be back. McMillan's going to be back. I just think that they're going to kind of, I don't know. I think they're going to go on a tear towards the end of the season. I do.
Duce is chucking tangerines around the building. He's saying it's too fair. Or not fair, maybe. I always call them the whiners. So he doesn't want to put whiners on the list, and we had to put whiners somewhere because we had a couple of sea chickens. We had a ton of lambs. So Duce doesn't want to get rid of the whiners. He's also given a birthday shout out to Megan. Yes, once again, happy birthday to our friend Megan. Feed
Happy
me
birthday,
more.
Megan.
What's with Chris Shula and going soft zone in the late fourth quarter situations? Because I keep seeing it bite you guys, even in wins and losses. Does it help?
I mean, the thing is, when you have the offense playing the way it has this year, you can go soft zone because what you do is you bleed the clock. And if you have a more than one possession game at that point, you feel really good about where you're at. I didn't agree with his soft zone and Brandon didn't either. He let me know in my ear very loud, against the 49ers. I didn't agree with that. Yeah, he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I can't hear. I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with it the time that they played the 49ers in Santa Clara. I mean, I know they dominated the game, and I get they kind of did it because they really just had their way with them with the offense. But yeah, this Panthers game, I will say Brandon threw a little jab, so I wanted to give him props because that Ernest Jones thing, the coverage is actually a big thing. Omar Spates totally did not realize it was zone coverage. Everybody had their guy. He thought it was man, had their zone. He thought it was man, wide open over the middle. Bryce Young completes it, game over. And I do give Chris Shula the credit the way he called on that final drive, but for the most part, yeah, there's a lot of that. But again, I think the biggest issue with Chris Shula is actually the overusing of stunts. Stunts are great, but when you have, like they had the number one success rate last year with stunts. This year, they're in the bottom of the league. You got to change some things up. So I think Shula would be great for the Cardinals, though, still, because I know, Mike, you're hearing this and probably like, do I really want this guy? You do, because he's coming from the Sean McVay tree, and he's been there since the beginning, 2017. He's been there with Wade Phillips. He's been there with Raheem Morris, Brandon Staley. He's seen it all. I think he's the most seasoned to come out of the Sean McVay tree.
I'm watching
Speaking of
both
which-
coordinators. Sorry.
Oh, Mike, right on cue, though, because Cajona's saying the McVay tree spreads, right? I mean, there's potential there for sure. Mike already said it. He's got both coordinators locked down as potential hires for his Cardinals, so definitely something to look at there. Also goes on to say the Panthers looked like Rams with the plays they were running. Kudos to our culture, though. Go Rams. Think we needed that loss.
That's fair. We'll
you
find
don't
out.
want, do you want to be, that's why, let New England keep winning, right, fellas? 10 turns into 14. Let them get into the playoffs, feeling themselves, come crashing down. Edwin, sea chickens and whiners. are going to be watching the Rams win another Super Bowl in SoFi North. Enjoy the regular season wins. Rams win when it counts.
Hey,
We'll see about that.
just saying, if that happens, I never want to hear another 49er fan have any rebuttal to anything Rams related again. You literally can't
listen,
say
if that
anything
happens,
at
the whole
point.
Stafford conversation's got to end. It should be over anyways, but
Yeah.
such a slight.
Brock Purdy can't hold Stafford's jockstrap. Come on now. It's
That's
not even
true.
remotely close.
That's true.
Man, do I want an NFC West, NFC championship so bad. I hope it comes to fruition. 808 Niner. The Niners have a snowball's chance in hell to win the Super Bowl. The Rams are the favorites to win it all, but come on, the Panthers, that's sad. Snowball. Once again, Jesse, reverse jinx. Snowball's chance.
That
Snowball's
doing there.
chance.
See what you're doing
Levi.
there.
Mike, I think. Mike, would you rather want Salah, Shula, or Clint as your next?
Oh, honestly, I'm so intrigued by Salah. Honestly, I'm so intrigued by Salah.
I was
for the
just going
sake
to
of right
say
now.
Salah's the
Salah.
answer, man. That's the one. I agree.
Yeah.
I'll also say the Jets treated him like dog shit, and he was a scapegoat. And don't get me into a Woody Johnson rant. I can't stand that dude.
I think we've seen enough to where I don't think you can judge anything that comes out of the Jets organization. I don't think you can put a stain on anybody from what happens to them there because it's an abyss. Carlos donated to a Charlotte food bank as a thanks. Go Hawks. Wow. Paying it forward, Carlos.
Hawks,
Look at you
Carl.
go. Love that.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate it,
Hell
Carlos.
yeah.
Pretty good. He's got the caps lock button broken, by the way, tonight. Pretty good. Stafford has Puka and Adams. Can we name who Drake May has to throw to? I'll tell you who he's throwing to, Purdy. I'll tell you who he's throwing to. All former Buffalo Bills. That's who he's throwing it to.
Diggs, Max Hollins.
Yeah.
I keep hearing this argument, and I understand where you're coming from. I get it, but at the same time, like Stephon Diggs isn't chopped liver. He's going to have over 1,000 yards this year. He's been really good. Hunter Henry has 610 receiving yards. There's not a Ram tight end over 200. Like, you know what I mean?
I hate him.
Then they have Travion Henderson and Stevens. I know Stevenson's struggled, but they have a good offensive line. Like I don't like doing this because I don't want to take away anything from Drake May. I'm a fan of his. I actually like what he's done. I believed in him this season. I said the Patriots were going to go to the playoffs. They were going to win 11 something games. Like that's how I felt. But it's just this constant like, oh, well, Stafford's throwing. Do you know who the leading receiver was on Sunday for the Rams? Take a guess. Anyone interested? Does anyone know?
It was yeah. I know who it was. I forget his name, but yes, it was a totally obscure player.
Xavier Smith.
Thank you.
You know, a UDFA who has made like he has never made the 53 until this year. Was just a punt returner. He was the leading receiver. He had over 80 yards.
He'd be wide receiver 1 on Buffalo. So send him over here. Send him over. Matthew Plowden
man.
once again saying shit talk running wild tonight. This is my kind of place. Just need a brew and some popcorn. Love it. Yeah, settle
NFC
in.
West, man. NFC West.
Appreciate it, Matt. Steel fit. We bleed red, Mike. Rise up, Red Sea.
Thank you.
Fire the gnome.
He's the gnome.
I'm assuming he's talking about Pet Sing.
Oh,
they
he
call him the
didn't get
gnome?
fired yet? Oh, no, he
No.
needs to
No, he's
fire him right into the sun. Like, into it. Like,
They're gonna
his
wait till the end of the
slingshot and all.
That's 5 minutes after the final game.
Yeah.
in the end of
King Wee. Stafford not winning the MVP. He's winning the Super Bowl MVP.
I think it's more of a shot of winning the MVP because then the Super Bowl MVP, like, those voters aren't going to give it to him. They'll find any reason not to give it to him.
Well, it's unfortunate you can't go beat up on the Giants in primetime, Jake, or else he would have it in the bag.
Hey,
So
Falcons Monday Night Football, but they'll probably flex that because then that would hurt Drake May's chances of winning the MVP. So
be careful. I know a playoff team that played the Falcons on Monday Night Football. It didn't go very well.
we'll see if they're a playoff team, Z-Bot. They're the 7th seed right now.
Oh, you watch your mouth. You watch your mouth. Do say we love the NFC West talk tonight. Rams should win out, but NFC West is the best. Do say you're the best.
Yes.
On fire tonight, man. We appreciate you, brother. And how about one more? Dude says he's calling. He's saying, Jake's the GOAT. Jake's the GOAT.
Appreciate
Simple as
you,
that.
Deuce.
Man, Deuce, I'm
Did you say?
Falcon.
crushing
Let's
it
go.
tonight, man. Crushing it. Jeff, kick the Cards out of the division. Bring in the Packers or someone more deserving.
we don't need the Packers in the division.
We need
I don't wanna
at
go
least
to
one
Lambeau.
easy run through here. Okay, we got these other two we got to deal with. We need at least one feast factor team that we can all kind of just get
cold
right
blooded.
games and catch your breath games. I'm sorry, Mike, but every division needs one.
Well,
I
we
still
also
think it would
need
be
Mike.
what it was if Green Bay was in the division, though. I still would take the other three teams. I think I don't particularly
I would
trust Green
too.
Bay.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
True. Good
I
point.
wouldn't kick Mike out of the division. Even if the
I wouldn't
Cardinals
either,
were
Mike.
good.
We want you to stay,
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
we don't want Mike
It's going to
going
come back
anywhere.
around. It's going to come back
not just
around.
because of the feast factor.
Exactly.
Jeff's also saying to pour one out for the bottom of the league. Yeah. I mean, the bottom of the league right now is bottom out. The crazy thing is the top of the league is just so all over the place. Not even top heavy. It's just heavy. It's everywhere. It's what an unbelievable year. It's been nuts. Steel Fit, once again, we don't take Steelers scum. Go Cards. How about them Steelers on Sunday, man? They
Super Bowl
look good,
loss
didn't
still
they?
hanging heavy on him there, Mike.
Yeah, oh yeah,
For
That
sure.
Still haunts us, man.
Oh man, Matt. So many people tonight just on fire, blazing, and Matt's one of them. Tell them, Jake. They don't know what we went through from the end of the greatest show on turf till McVay. Yeah,
Yeah, they
long
have
time
no
there.
clue. The Rams were a budding joke every single year when I was in school. Bullied every single year, every day for being a Rams fan. And of course, they didn't get good until I graduated high school. They don't know. They don't know. Watching, I remember like Halloween watching Matt Moore on the Panthers. They had 1 or 2 wins. And the Rams had AJ Feely and cheering like my life depended on it
AJ Touchy Feely.
to watch AJ Feely find a way to beat the Panthers. They were both 2 of the worst teams in the league then. But that meant so much to me then. And Z-Bot, Stevie Johnson, Bills go up 5-0, and then that season where it kind of crumbled. Like you had those moments before Josh Allen where you were like, oh my God. Like, this is incredible. And it wasn't even that big of a deal because you knew somewhere some a-hole Patriots fan was behind you getting upset about an interception and they're 12-3 at the time or what. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it was.
4-0 start, and the Bills were on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I'll never forget it. The Stampede. They'd go on to win 3 more games. I think it was 3 or 4 more games.
That was
Cover
the
of
Stevie
Sports
Johnson touchdown, right? That was that season?
The Stevie Johnson
The game winner? It was years ago. I have a weird memory. I can remember
Against
random
New England?
stuff like this. I think so.
definitely.
It put them up like 5-0, 4-0.
I don't know. They only beat New England 3 times, so it wouldn't be hard to go back and fact check it. I'll do it after the show because that would take me about 2 seconds to go and find it. Tony Bag of Donuts. I like that. So the Seahawk guy lives in Southern California. The Rams guy lives in upstate New York, and the Niner guy lives in Florida. Props to Mike from a Seahawk fan for not only sticking with his team, but being local.
Appreciate
like
it, man. Get some love. Hell yeah.
Speaking
To be
of
fair,
love,
I'd never lived in San Francisco. I was born in Portland, Oregon, so I didn't have a chance to live there, I guess.
ooh, that should have been, it could have been 12 territory there, Brando. Could have been another one of you down in the right corner.
I keep trying to bring him back in the mix as like a lost wayward, that left the flock. He just like he got lost on his own and he got into some dark territory, into some wicked stuff, and
Ugh.
eventually we'll bring him back along. It's going to start with a hat, but it's
I
going
was
to be
gonna
slow.
say.
Slow
That's why you have
process back
such
to
a
the
nice
fold.
hat picked out for him, right? Get him back to the flock.
Yeah.
I also watched the St. Louis, same old sorry ass Rams in upstate New York. Let's not forget that. Every single week.
Tommy's saying Z-Bot's voice sounds like a garbage disposal and a jackhammer making love.
I think that's a
Damn
compliment.
right.
That
is
is
a
a compliment.
compliment. I love it. I've been waiting for someone to say it. You guys see that guy on Instagram that pops up now, the trucker who goes, you don't drive 1,800 miles a night. You got soft hands. And he sounds like, me who's smoked a carton a day. The thing is, he's probably smoked a carton a day for 60 years. And I was just born with, I think, polyps on my lungs or something. I have no idea. But Tommy, I love it. That's a really good way to put it, I think. And I appreciate you, brother. Tony, Bag of Donuts. Super chat for Jesse's hair game. It's smashing. Check out his appearance with Grant Cohn. It was outstanding. Oh,
That's not
most people
surprising.
don't compliment my hair, so there, I don't know.
I don't know
I'll take
why.
it, I guess.
I think I dig it.
Haters. That's why.
It's like the most, like people are like, why do you wear your hair like that? I'm like, have you never seen a white guy with a hard part? Like it's pretty standard, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tony's on fire, man. I'm telling you what, I got to get the fire extinguisher out.
Tony?
This is unbelievable. Tony saying my man Brandon Kane, he's the GOAT. The
Let's
GOAT.
go. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you, man. Very kind of you.
Carlos. Love that everyone here is more level-headed than the AFC South roundtable.
Ooh, shots.
Colts and
Damn.
Jags delusion. I bet you it's getting pretty testy over in that division because it's tight in that
Oh,
division.
yeah.
Colts slipping a little bit, right? Houston gets that dub, and you mentioned it earlier,
It's
Jay.
fun. It's fun to host it. I'm telling
I
you.
bet. And those are some fun guys over there too, and they're into
Uh-huh.
it, man. Good show. And by the way, the roundtable in general, the NFC West, of course, we dominate. We're the best. Everybody knows it, but the other
It's
roundtables are good too. They are. We promise. Havs coming in. If you think Stafford is a bad quarterback, make sure you put your helmet on before you go outside. Who thinks Stafford's a bad quarterback? Anybody?
A lot of 49er fans do. I'm telling you.
They don't watch anybody other than the 49ers, though, so who cares? Which is weird because if you only watch the 49ers, which means you only saw Stafford twice, and you watch Stafford baby your team, like, what was it, 7 touchdowns? You would think he'd be pretty damn good.
Listen, man, I don't get it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I get the hate, man. I mean, Tom Brady still sucks to me to this day. Yeah, I know how it goes. Mike saying we need to have a Cardinals appreciation day.
We appreciate you for sucking so that somebody else can always get a couple wins a season. Thanks.
It's true.
Hell yeah.
You can have a Mike appreciation day. How about that? The
We'll
fact
take
he's
Mike
always
appreciation
here
for sure.
no matter what happens. And man,
Damn right.
they should have beaten Tampa.
Well, hopefully we do this during the draft. That'll be my time to shine.
Exactly.
Hopefully we do.
There you go.
I think Ducey's got a tangerine tree in his backyard, guys. Because they're supposed to
Oh, you do say you're awesome.
What's
Hell
Ducey
yeah.
saying here? At least the NFC West will know.
Not sure.
I don't know.
That's the problem with the super chats, that they're like during a certain moment, and then we go back and it's like hard to. I don't know when he sent that. Otherwise, I try and decipher.
Well, I think we will know that these two teams or three teams, when they get in there, we will know what they're made of. We know right now that they're three of the best in the business. And I keep saying, it just feels inevitable, not only because of the way they're playing, but the show. I just feel like it's happening. The chemistry, we're going to get that crazy playoff showdown at some point. Jeff Tissel, playoffs will be super interesting this year. Look who the top teams have beaten. No one has played anyone. Got to find out who's real fast. I mean, yeah, the Chicago Bears are the 1 seed right now.
The Rams are 6-2 against playoff teams.
There it is. There it is. Propa. Refreshed YouTube earlier, and the NFC West East Roundtable was on. Saw Z-Bot hosting, and it was like growing up when you'd see your teacher outside of school. Just an odd feeling. It's a good way to put it. You ever had that happen? You have no idea what to do. It's like a whole.
I have.
You know, it's crazy. Appreciate you, Propa. Hav, 49er fans need to use the code JK Boggin for a Manta sleep mask to aid dreaming of another 49ers Super Bowl.
Damn.
Oh,
Little plug there for Jake.
It's funny.
Nice.
I got a comment that someone said Geno Smith was playing with a Manta sleep mask on.
Sheesh.
I literally could not like unsee it after that. Like I was just like, those comments are great. Appreciate you, HAV.
Tangerine time from our man Mike. He's saying, feel bad for honorary Rams fan Mike missing out on the S-Talk, Winers, Sea Chickens, Lambs. We need a good name to add to Jake's no-fly list. Shards, West is the best. You guys are killing it tonight. Go Rams. Brando, hit that thing for me.
Oh yeah.
Charts.
Appreciate it,
Shards.
Mike. Jeff back in. Don't disrespect Stat Patford.
Stat
Ooh,
Padford. My God.
I like that. one.
Skip Bayless.
Oh man, is he the one that he came up?
Wasn't
with that
it?
name, right?
Was that him that came up with that? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because he kept throwing it up to Calvin Johnson, is what he said.
Mm. That's a
Well,
pretty
and then
good
when
one.
and then they're down in games, so he's getting all the yards and empty cow. Like they're having to come back from 3 touchdowns down, so he's just getting a bunch of empty.
It was
Cowherd
either
yards.
him or Cowherd. I feel like it was Skip, but
Well, Cowherd really likes Stafford. He's been saying that he's better than Rodgers for a while. So
He loves Stafford.
yeah.
So Skip sounds about right. Tony, bag of donuts. Got to call out Jake. Appreciate your appearance with Brandon and Dan Vines.
Thank
Sure.
you.
We had-
Yeah, Brandon,
him sit
Dan,
for 3.5
they do great
hours.
jobs.
Me and Jake there last time. So appreciate
Oh,
it.
yeah.
doing that.
Damn.
get ready, Brando. Oh, is it week,
I know.
week 6?
Oh,
I mean, it's gonna be a 5-hour
First league,
stream.
man. Yeah, probably.
Man, and you could have 2 of them, right? If things end up going the way everyone,
Oh
or not
my
everyone,
god,
but you guys,
we're talking about a playoff game. It might be a 10-hour stream.
damn.
Oh, dude, that's gonna go off. Yeah.
You might need to do one of your marathon streams there, Jake, where you're just on there the whole day, right?
Oh
You
yeah, like
Yeah.
I've done that once. It's I don't recommend it.
They're long
Carlos, name a more uneducated online fan base than San Francisco and Dallas.
Carlos said it, not me.
days. Get him,
Although-
Carlos.
I'm not gonna give Dallas strays. I've never had issues with Dallas fans ever in my life. Ever.
I think Dolphins fans
Thank you.
take the cake, man. Dolphins fans are absolutely awful.
Really?
There's
Oh
a
my
crazy
God.
Dolphin
They're
fan in this
so
chat
bad.
right now that's making everybody crazy.
From my experience, the 49er fans, well, not all of them. So let me always preface with not everyone. But from my experience, it's more nastiness. It's not like dialogue. It's not like, oh, we can like help each other understand things. We can have a nice conversation. Like, like Brandon, when he first got on here, him and I would go at it, and like I'd be learning a little bit more about the Seahawks, and he'd be learning a little bit more about the Rams, like that type of thing. We all have that kind of introductory, but the whole, I guess, like that's kind of my thing. Like it makes it not as fun to interact with people when they're just nasty, like mean spirited, and they're just throwing slurs at you. It's like, so yeah, I've only gotten that from 49er fans, Lions fans, Eagles fans, and I think that's pretty much it. Bills fans used to be the worst. I think it was 2020, Z-Bot. The Bills fans were awful because it was that game that the Rams came back. They were down 25, and I was pissed because they missed the call on Gabe Davis. He was blocking them, and they called it defensive pass interference on a 4th down. I said something along those lines, like they missed the call. Dude, I thought everybody in Buffalo wanted to kill me. I don't know why.
Tread lightly, baby.
I noticed.
Mumbles. Don't worry, Jake. I'll add a redacted whenever I use a no word. All for you, boo-boo. I feel like Niners are somehow going to get someone else on IR on the bye.
Oh, my God. Let's hope not.
And then
I don't
Maddie-
want any more excuses
that.
for them. They can be fully healthy for all. Like I want to beat the best when they're the best. I don't like injuries.
That's saying the Cardinals could be the Nardinals?
I don't know.
Yeah, at this point.
I don't know. All I do know is 2 hours are in the books, folks. We recapped week 13. We previewed week 14, and we can't wait to be back with you next week. Same time, same place. NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel at 9 p.m. Eastern. As we close out, we got Mumbles coming back in saying, Brando, we need to get Jesse a I Love Darnold hat. And if you are just
that's a
tuning
good
in,
idea.
could
that's
be
a good
on the
idea.
table as a hat bet was placed on this episode. So a lot more in store for you coming down the pipe as the season heads into December here. Carlos, forgot to add Hurts MVP stand to the delusion. Oh, yeah. The list is ever growing,
Vector
as
on
is
that
Jake's no words list. So we got a lot of lists going on in this show. All right. Anyway, 2 hours in the books. We appreciate each and every one of you. Touchdown on nearly 1,000 in the building this evening, and we can't wait to be back with you again next week. But that's going to do it for us tonight. For Brando, Jake, Jesse, and Mike, I'm your host, Z-Bot. Thanks so much, as always, for tuning into the NFC West Roundtable, and we'll see you on the next.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.